All right, welcome back, friendos, to H&S Collectibles Saturday night stream hosted on the Cadaver Club channel. And then we got Mark of Horror. I believe that John from Project Ellsworth will be joining us shortly, as will Cody a little later. I believe that. Hold on, sorry, I got the echo thing going. All right. Anyway, how's your Saturday going, Mark?
Oh, not too bad. I got out and about. There were way too many people out to do anything, but my favorite food truck has a nice little spot to eat way out by the woods. So we just get our food and go out to the picnic table that's farthest out.
Nice.
Hey, John.
What's up?
How you doing, John?
All right, man. I'm trying to turn this damn TV down.
I heard that.
Hold on. I'll be right there.
What's your favorite food truck?
It's Never Blue. They specialize in various meats. We actually had chicken and waffles, which is one of their more mundane dishes. But yesterday they had chili lime shrimp, which was really good.
Nice. Yeah, we used to have when I worked in San Francisco before I started commuting. We used to have like this. It was like a wood fire pizza truck that would come by, and it had like a whole like pizza oven in it. It was pretty intense.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Fucking later.
It's funny, when I was growing up, food truck meant that you got a sandwich or a hot dog. That it was like the base food. But now food trucks seem to be all very, very specialized and serve fancy food.
Yeah, they're real fancy now. They used to be Roach Coach, man.
Yeah,
that's get like something that would like rot your insides out.
Yeah.
We don't have anything like that around here at all.
We have at my work there's the main building, and then across the street there's like the secondary building. And the secondary building has food trucks that there's two different food trucks that go and park there every day, and that always like sort of goes through a bunch of different ones. So you never know what you're going to get, but it's pretty cool.
I work in a beach town, and we don't have anything like that at all. You would think we would. We don't have anything like that.
Yeah, I live in a small town, and we have several of them.
No, nothing. We got nothing. The only thing I can think of is that town over the summer is so densely populated that you don't want to fucking drive around in that town. You don't even want to walk around in that town because of fear of getting ran over. So I would think that operating a food truck in a town like that has to be a pain.
There used to be like a food court with food trucks in Potrero Hill, San Francisco. That's pretty cool. I can't tell if Matthew O'Neill in the chat is a troll or if he just accidentally typed "What's up, bitch." He retracted it, so we'll see. Hello, Matthew O'Neill. How are you doing?
How do you guys see the comments in here?
Go on. Just open the stream in a different window on YouTube.
Or if you're
I'm not even looking at it in YouTube. I'm in StreamYard.
Yeah, when you're in
you have to look at it on YouTube.
Where it says private chat, click on live comments. Should be on the right-hand side. Click on live comments. But I have a separate window open in order to type comments in. I don't know how you do it in StreamYard.
That's actually what I meant to ask you, because I remember last time I was on here, I could see the chat, but I couldn't respond to it. So I was actually using my phone to respond to chat.
Yeah, that'll work too.
Okay.
Yep, either way. So I guess Cody had some truck issues. His son had some truck issues, so that's why we're hosting this on my channel. He will be along in a bit, I suppose, apparently.
Yeah, he said he should be done by 10.
What happened to his kid's car?
I think he said it was like a basically like a I don't know, battery terminal or something. Easy. It was easy.
Broken cable on the battery. Yeah.
All right.
He said it was an easy fix.
Good. Easy fixes are the best kind of fix.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah.
what
So
are you guys been up to?
nothing, man.
Yeah.
Staying up late, sleeping late. It's that life, you know, that quarantine life.
Yeah, enjoyed getting out in the outdoors today and going to the food truck and avoiding everybody. But yeah, other than that, I'm back in quarantine again.
Yeah. Yeah, they're. I don't know what they're going to be doing around here. They still 50% capacity at the beaches, but all non-essential retail is still not open. So it's still pretty dead around here.
Our retail, all of our retail opened up except for movie theaters.
Yeah.
In North Carolina, and they use 50% of what they're allowed to have as the guideline. Hey, Andrew. But it's a terrible guideline because like stores never have more than 50% people in them.
No, never.
There was one grocery store, one of the grocery stores here, it has a sign out front. It says limit 236 people. That's a half capacity.
My God.
Hey, Larry.
Yeah, I went back to work for like 3 or 4 days, and then no work to do, so just been at home again.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to going back to work. I like being at home.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to going back to work because it's been a lot of time by myself in this apartment, so it'd be nice to be around human beings.
Yeah. Are you typically somebody who goes out a lot, or do you spend a lot of time at home under normal circumstances?
Oh no, I'm a complete homebody, but this is like taking it to the next level. This is like when I used to be a lot more like depressed and anxious and shit before I put my stuff together. This was basically my sort of daily existence, so it is reminding me of that time. It just wears on you after a while, you know.
Yeah, man, I get it.
Yeah, and I'm week on, week off with my granddaughter. So all next week I'll be watching my granddaughter. So it's a nice change of pace. Yeah. I love getting to watch my granddaughter. I love having a week to myself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My grandson is upstairs asleep right now.
Yeah, I've just been hanging out with Quilted basically. It's the only company I got in physical reality over here. But it's been nice streaming with people and video calling and stuff like that, you know. Helps break it up a little bit.
When I was on here a couple of weeks ago, it's the first time I ever did it.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good stream.
Yeah.
The old Friday the 13th stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I posted my review of Friday the 13th, The New Blood, today.
I actually watched that while I was walking my dog earlier.
Did you?
Yeah, I love that one. I understand you didn't like it so much, but
I like it. I'm just not crazy about it.
Yeah,
the only one of those movies that I flat out did not like was Jason Goes to Hell. All the rest of them I can tolerate.
I'm with you on that. I did not care for that one too much either.
I'm cool with all the other ones.
Apparently, though, if you see the unrated cut, it makes all the difference in the universe, and it's like the best movie that's ever been made. I've been told. So,
of Jason Goes to Hell?
What'd you say?
Of Jason Goes to Hell?
Yeah.
Where the hell do you get that?
I think it used to be on like a DVD pack or something. So I think you can get it on DVD. I don't know if it's available on Blu-ray.
I would be very interested in watching something that would make that movie suck less.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, for sure.
I'd be down.
Yeah, I didn't really like that one, but I will say, like, hey Tim, how you doing? Craig's here too. I will say that, like,
well, hey Tim, hey Craig.
It's not that much longer, apparently, but like just a little bit makes a big difference. Like the My Bloody Valentine unrated versus the rated,
That was
like
the one I was going to bring up.
it makes all the difference. It's insane.
My Bloody Valentine, I think, is a good slasher. The uncut version is a super slasher.
No shit.
Yeah.
It makes I know that a lot of ones that say uncut add about 8 seconds or so, but this has a whole bunch of stuff to it, and it's the uncut My Bloody Valentine is much better.
That's cool.
I would say it's probably less than 2 minutes overall added.
Yeah,
But it's just like, man, what an impact. It's like all of the kills have like 5 more seconds of like brutal gore. And it just makes such a big difference.
Well, I think 2 more minutes added to Jason Goes to Hell would probably double Jason's on-screen time, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I imagine. Unless it's all just worm time. Could be worm time.
That's exactly what I always refer to it as the worm movie.
Yeah. Kind of weird. It's like one of these movies that it's hard to remove it from the franchise. Meaning, like, if I saw this as a complete different movie, and it didn't have like Jason in it at all, it was like some other random killer.
Yeah.
How would I feel about it? I might like it, but
that's the whole Halloween 3 argument.
Yeah.
But you're right. If it wasn't a Friday the 13th movie, how exactly would I feel about it? That's a good point.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. That's also like the Child's Play remake.
Child's Play, right? Yeah, I liked the Child's Play remake as a horror movie. I did not like it as a Child's Play film.
Yeah, I didn't mind it as either, to be honest with you, but I didn't love it as both. Does that make I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It doesn't ruin anything of the franchise for me. But I understand it's hard to separate it from some things. Some people just hated it just because. But Craig, by the way, in the chat is confirming that Jason Goes to Hell regular dog shit with the extra 3 minutes added, amazing. So. But he also confirms that Child's Play reboot was dog shit. So take it all with a grain of salt, if you will. What did you guys think of the remake
of
Child's Play?
I didn't say it.
You haven't seen it?
I'm not a big Child's Play guy.
You know what? I'm actually not that big a Child's Play guy either.
Yeah.
In fact, until I guess it would be last year, I had only seen up to the 3rd movie in the franchise.
Okay.
And I saw those in the theater. And then, like, I just didn't keep up with the franchise. But then I got the Child's Play collection, so I ran through all of them.
Cool. I've been meaning to actually give those movies a chance, but I just never have for no particular reason. I saw the first Child's Play movie in the movie theater, and I think I saw the second one on cable. And then I don't think I saw another one up until, what's the one with the girl in the wheelchair that came out probably around 8 or 10 years ago?
Curse.
That was Curse, yeah.
I own that one. I think that's the only Child's Play movie I own.
I really like that one, actually.
Yeah,
I was like such a, like, because I ran through these in order after having not seen the franchise. So I never saw Bride of Chucky. And then I watched Seed of Chucky. I like Bride of Chucky, and I was like, oh, okay, let's do this. And then I watched Seed of Chucky, and I was like, fuck this franchise. And then they came back with Curse of Chucky, and I was like, okay, we're back to business.
But that's Craig's favorite, Seed of Chucky.
Yeah, well, of course it is. Andrew's angry at me for not loving the franchise so much. I understand why everyone loves it. But
I had a feeling that Andrew was going to dislike the fact that we were not Child's Play fans.
Yeah, he's definitely a big Child's Play fan.
Yes,
and
he
I
is.
absolutely
Yeah.
get it. I get it.
Yeah.
And I really do like go ahead. I was going to say, I really do like the first 3 movies. Actually, I like most of the movies a lot.
Yeah.
But just as far as like the franchises that I was drawn to when I was younger and really like sort of, I don't know, catalyzed within my soul as things that I absolutely love, that one didn't do it. But
Me neither.
but I do like it.
I want to give him a chance. At some point, I got to give him a chance. But that whole thing when the Bride of Chucky with the whole concept of that, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So one of these days I'll watch it.
I thought that one was fun. I remember watching that one, and I really liked that John Ritter was in it. I want to know what? When I watched that, I was like, "Oh man, John Ritter."
John Ritter was in a Child's Play movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in Bride of Chucky.
I had no idea. Wow. How many years has he been gone now?
I'm not sure. I think that must have been like
It's got 15 years ago or something like that, isn't it?
Hey,
Hello.
Welcome.
I got him home and got him rescued.
Nice. We were
Easy.
just talking about. Go on.
I was going to say easy fix. There's about a 6-inch lead coming off the positive cable to the fuse block, and his battery hold downs long ago rusted away on that truck. So the battery been hopping around, and it broke the cable at the terminal. So when he went to start it, he had no connection.
It's always nice when it's like one easy thing like that,
Yep, I was able to just hold it in place while he cranked it and drove home, put a new terminal on, and we're good. So
good.
Got him a rubber strap to hold the battery down, so we're set. Anyway, sorry. What was the topic when I derailed it?
We're talking about Child's Play franchise. You a big Child's Play fan?
Oh yeah. And my daughter is crazy about it. I don't know how many times she's watched all of them, just repeatedly. Loves them to death.
I know she's got the Chucky doll that she carries around, right?
Yep, she takes it everywhere. Not life size, but tall. It's a good 24-inch tall doll, maybe taller. And I bought it for her at a convention last year when I bought those Ghostbuster 112 Mezcos, because he was $100 doll and the Mezcos were $300.
Yeah.
And I was hawing about it, and the guy said, "I'll give them both to you for $350."
Nice.
So there it went. And we went and saw the remake that weekend too. So she got to take the doll to the movie theater to see the remake.
So what was what's your take on the remake? Did you love it? Was it basically your favorite Child's Play movie?
No, not my favorite, I would say, but I liked it. I do enjoy it. I really like Mark Hamill, doing the voice. If anything, I find a couple of the kids rather annoying. Now I have one friend who complained that the kids weren't realistic. I think they're realistic. They're just annoying.
So that's pretty realistic.
Yeah, kids are annoying. So
they are annoying, yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy it. I think it's fun. Of the regular Chucky movies, non-remake, I always go to probably Part 2 is my favorite. I just think Part 2 is fun, and I love the factory showdown at the end.
Yeah, I'm trying to I think it was 3B Production Co. I was watching their ranking, and he was saying that the one thing that really bugged him about that movie was he has had multiple factory jobs, and he's never worked in a factory like that, and it took him out of it. I was like, okay, fair enough. I can see that,
Understandable.
I think I was talking to Cody and Al on Messenger about how when I see a tool used improperly in a movie, it takes me out of it. So I can get that.
Would you say you used to build furniture, Ben?
Yeah, I was a furniture maker for I don't know, 15 years or something. 20 years. So, a long ass time.
Yeah. Was it cool, or was it just redundant?
No, it's great. I mean, I went to art school for it, and so I built custom furniture, stuff like that. And basically right when I got out of school was when the housing market crashed. So business really sucked and it was hard to make a living. And I struggled for many years and then said, fuck all this noise and did a career change.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's worked out really well, to be honest. I'm much happier now.
Yeah.
Do you make anything, John?
Just build random stuff in my house. That's about it. I just built actually a counter down here that extends out the desk that I'm sitting at to put lights on for YouTube.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I just recently bought lights. I built this counter. I put up LEDs. I got my camera up and running. So I've been doing a lot in here during the quarantine.
Well, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not been productive at all.
I've been very productive. I haven't. I think of the entire time I've been off. I've maybe sat on the couch and done nothing maybe once.
Wow.
I'm like the inverse of that pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been getting a lot of couch time.
I've been working in my yard a lot.
See, that's a problem. I don't have a yard.
Yeah, I remember you saying that before. I have way too much yard. You can have some of mine.
Yeah, I'll gladly take it.
God, I hate it. It's covered in trees and leaves.
I got my tables done. I got my corner shelf built. I got those DVD shelves made.
That's awesome.
Worked on vehicles, kept the yard mowed. And I think next, though, I'm going to start not a wood project, but I'm going to start working on. I bought a radial arm saw off of a neighbor that needs some work, and I'm going to start working on it. See if I can get it lined out because its bearings are loose, so it either needs adjusted or needs new bearings. We'll see. But if I can fix it.
Have you guys seen Frontier, or Frontiers, the S in parentheses, the French film?
A long time ago.
A long time ago.
It's good. It's like extreme French horror. It has like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre type vibe about it. But one of the kills is there's like this table saw that's used for butchering.
Mhm.
It doesn't have a guard or anything on it. And so there's a pretty good table saw kill. I watched it not too long ago.
One of my favorite power tool kills is Intruder, where the guy gets the bandsaw in the meat department.
Yes.
That looks so good.
Yeah, that's a classic, man.
I need to get that. I've got it in that silver case, copied off Netflix.
Yep.
But I think, what did Synapse do a release of that Blu-ray?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, that's the one I have.
I love
Is that
it.
the movie that I just bought at the dollar store?
Did you just get it?
Yeah, I think so. Hold on a second.
Intruder?
There's a couple of films with that name.
Yeah, there's the new Dennis Quaid movie too.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the trailer for that one where he plays like the guy who sells his house. Is that right? Oh no, that's a different one. That's Intruder.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I just got that thing for nothing.
The one we're talking about, it wasn't Sam Raimi directing, but did he produce? Maybe.
I know. I mean, he's involved. He's in the film along with Ted, of course.
Yeah, and Bruce Campbell quickly. Yeah.
It's a friend of theirs who directed it.
But it's basically a bunch of people stocking a grocery store overnight, but somebody's picking them off one by one. Slasher movie.
Nice setting in that one too. It's like after hours grocery store. This is a cool one.
Yeah.
I worked overnight grocery at Walmart for like 8 months. So, the dairy cooler and the cardboard baler and all that stuff was familiar territory.
I never did any of that, but I still liked it.
I was going to say I worked at Walmart from age 16 through 22 through high school and college. So That was all I needed of working with the public.
Yeah. Yeah, I worked a lot of those jobs when I was younger. Have you guys seen Intruders, the one that John just picked up?
No, I haven't.
Have you seen it, Mark?
I think I have because I recognize the cover, but I don't really remember it.
It was good. I liked it. It's it's kind of like one of these reverse home invasion type movies, people under the stairs style a little bit, with some twists and turns. Has a little bit of a trap feel, like Saw, kind of. It was good though. It's interesting. Basically,
I've had more than one person tell me that was a pretty good movie. I got to check that out.
Yeah, definitely check it out. Trash stash in the house.
Hey, Danny.
Trash stash. Yeah, the compactor kit was great.
I keep muting so you guys don't have to listen to me crunch these Doritos.
Oh, I've ordered the traditional Saturday night pizza, by the way.
Not that yummy Chicago pizza.
I'm going New York style this evening, actually. A big greasy sausage pizza. What do you say, John?
We do pizza every Friday night here.
Oh, nice. I've been doing pizza like kind of what I would consider too much these days. It's like one of those things, you know?
We do it every Friday or Sunday, depending. Because up till recently, my son, it was the only way he saw his girlfriend. She works at the pizza place. So we'd order one and he could go pick it up. But now they're running around together. And when he was broke down tonight, he had her with him. So she got to watch him get an earful from me.
Yeah, I've been eating like shit while we've been quarantined.
Oh,
I used to.
I got donuts and Doritos. So.
Oh yeah, that's a balance. That's a balanced breakfast there, man.
Pop-Tart.
Breakfast at Champion. Oh, okay. You need some chips, and you'll catch up with Cody. Yeah, and I see, John, you do a lot of McDonald's mukbang on your channel.
I don't do. Everybody thinks I go there all the time. It's like once every couple of weeks I generally go to McDonald's. But
it's like
one of my friends was giving me a hard time. He's like, dude, you should get a discount at all these stores you constantly go to. I'm like, dude, it's once a week. It's not. If I recorded myself eating lunch every single day, that would be different.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when people see me once every like 3 months and I'm wearing overalls, and they're like, you must wear overalls every day. And I'm like, yeah, actually, I kind of do. I kind of wear them every single fucking day.
I've been wearing them a lot lately, and because they're just so comfortable and so easy.
You don't gotta sell me, dude. I'm sold.
For the class I was taking, we were doing Zoom sessions, and at the end of the week, the rest of the class voted me best dressed.
Oh, there you go. I've definitely never received that.
I don't think it was genuine, but that's what they gave me.
Yeah, when hey, Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
Oh, Andrew.
What's up, Andrew?
While we've been quarantined, I've been working at home, and I have a couple regular meetings every week. And then a few weeks ago, everyone did sock puppets and hand puppets instead. Everyone made those for the meeting instead of like showing up with their face.
I remember you mentioning that. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's pretty funny actually. One guy actually built like a little groundhog, and he had like a little hole that he was popping it out of and stuff. It's pretty crazy. Ridiculous. How you doing, Andrew?
Yeah, pretty good. Thanks. How's everyone?
Good.
Doing well. We're talking about how healthy our diets are. Now, I know that you're kind of a fan of Child's Play. Oh, look at that. Is that a burrito?
No, it's a ham and salad wrapped in some crackers. Sorry?
Do they have chimichangas over there in Australia, Andrew?
They're deep fried burritos, right?
Yep.
Fuck yeah, they are.
Yeah, and I've had them before.
It's like one of those things. Every time I go back to Sacramento where I used to live, there's like a few restaurants that serve chimichangas. That's like my Sacramento meal. I mean,
So where you're at, you probably get the good ones too, right?
honestly, usually I eat really healthy. But lately
Well,
I've just been eating whatever shit I can get.
Well, I just meant Southern California is probably better chimichangas than I'll find here in Indiana.
That is true. I'm up north though, San Francisco
Okay.
Bay Area. Yeah, but,
Yeah,
but still, I think California in general, that is true.
Yeah.
All Frito diet for Trash Stash.
Yep.
I heard that.
Yes,
Deftones, baby. Got that right.
John, you'll have to hit up some Five Guys for me, mate.
Yeah, I will. I promise.
We haven't been to Five Guys since the whole thing started.
Me neither.
I need to
Yes.
swing in there. 'Cause the only time I've been in a town that has one, which is an hour away, is to pick up online grocery orders.
Yeah.
So by the time we get loaded, I'm racing home because I want the, frozen stuff and ice cream to be okay.
Did you say an hour and a half away?
About an hour away in any direction for me to get to a Five Guys.
Oh, I thought you were talking about it. That's how far you had to go to a grocery store.
Well, that's how far we went to get an online order.
Okay.
We got a Walmart 2 minutes up the road from me, but they don't do online ordering.
Okay.
So for the time and the trouble and to stay away from everybody, we just did an online order and drove to, the big town and picked it up there.
So I lived in a major metropolitan area, San Francisco, pretty big city, right? And there are no Walmarts in San Francisco, Oakland, or Berkeley, which is sort of like the three main areas around here. It's crazy. I have to drive. I'm not convinced that I've been in a Walmart in the Bay Area ever. You would think they'd be around, but what'd you say?
I said, where the hell would they even put it? It's pretty packed there, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, there's Best Buys and all sorts of stuff like that, Targets and whatnot. But yeah, no Walmart. There's Costco somewhere.
They're pretty big too.
Yeah.
You've got Amoeba Records there too, don't you, Ben?
Which one?
Amoeba Records.
Oh, there's one in Sacramento. I know that much. I don't know if there's one around here. Yeah, there's one on Arden Boulevard in Sacramento. They have a lot of used Blu-rays and DVDs and stuff. I used to go shopping there all the time back in the day.
We don't have
Around
any.
here we got disc replay.
Yeah, we don't have that one either.
Yeah, I have McKay's, but it's close to 3 hours away.
Yeah, I think for me to get to McKay's, the closest one would be Nashville, and that's about 5 hours. Which was part of the spring break plan before all this crap started. So
Yep.
Andrew, earlier we were talking about Child's Play. I know that you're a little bit of a fan of that franchise. And I know you like the remake too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the remake was really good, I thought.
It's a really interesting thing because people a lot of times that are real big fans of a franchise, if something changes a little bit, it really rubs them the wrong way. And then sometimes it's just not the case. Like with you, you're a major fan of the Child's Play franchise and you remained open-minded to it, right?
The franchise has changed so much over the years anyway. You had the 3 original serious movies, and then it went to the comedy with Bride and Seed, which I absolutely hated. And then it went back with Curse and Cult. So I guess I was ready for something different. It did take me a while to get used to the look of the new Chucky, though.
Yeah, the new Chucky, I liked it. I think I was saying earlier, I liked it. I didn't love it. The thing that didn't quite work for me was when he switched to being like, from being like Andy's friend till the end to like being an antagonist. That didn't quite work for me in a general sense, but I enjoyed it for the most part.
One thing I thought they did really well was the relationship between Chucky and Andy.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little bit better than the original movie.
I like the little homage they put in there to Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I love the music too.
And that's when, sorry, Cody.
That's fine. I was going to say that's one of the more recent soundtracks I've really loved was the new Child's Play.
Hmm. Yeah, the TCM scene was really good because that's when Chucky sort of turned because he saw them laughing at the murders, so he thought, "Oh, this will please Andy."
I don't remember the music at all, to be honest. I should give it another watch. I just watched it the one time when it came out. Yeah, I should definitely give it another watch.
How many
Sorry,
movies are in that franchise?
What did you say,
you're
John?
not saying Child's Play, John?
Yeah, how many movies are in the Child's Play franchise?
8? Is
Yeah.
it 8?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think there was that many.
John, watch the original 3, skip Bride and Seed, then watch Kirsten Colt and the remake if you're still interested.
I'm definitely interested, and it's funny. Earlier, I said that the whole idea of Bride of Chucky is what completely turned me off of that franchise.
Yeah.
Bride of Chucky was a perfectly fun movie.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick's here.
Yeah, I could tell. I saw a 78 in the chat. So
Hey, Rick.
Ben Grimm's here too. He liked Bride of Chucky.
Hey, man.
But I know Andrew doesn't like the horror comedy stuff, or he's very particular about it.
Neither do I.
I gotta say, like, as far as franchises go that everyone loves and I don't love, I would say top of that list probably Hatchet franchise. People fucking love that franchise.
I like Hatchet.
I get it. I think are you talking to us, Cody? Because you are muted if you are.
Was I still muted from the last time I was eating?
Yeah.
You're saving us from your Doritos.
I was going to say Hatchet's fun, with practical effects and the crazy kills.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not it's definitely a shut your brain off franchise.
Yeah.
So
I think
I really like the second Hatchet movie for the cast because they're a lot older and it's something a bit different from your traditional slasher. Plus, I absolutely love the double chainsaw kill.
yeah,
I like
Have you seen all Have you seen all the Hatchet movies, Ben?
all of the Hatchet ones. There's 3 of them plus
Oh.
horror. I believe I have seen them all.
I've not seen Victor Crowley, but I've seen the first 3.
Victor Crowley's all right. I don't like it as much as I like the earlier ones.
I like it more than part 3, which I don't really like, but not as much as the first 2.
Yeah, the first.
I think the
They're bringing out a new one, I think.
A new Hatchet one?
Yeah.
Well, I'll watch it. I probably won't love it, but I'll watch it. I mean, those are sort of like campy. I consider those like bordering on horror comedy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But both of you guys love them.
I like them. I think the only one of those that I would say that I loved was probably the first one.
Which one's that?
The first one.
First Hatchet.
Of Hatchet. Okay.
I think that's probably like my least favorite one. That's the one where they're like on the boat trip, right?
Yeah.
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 I think that's probably my least favorite, actually. But
Yeah.
Hobbs in the house. What's up, Hobbs?
There he is. What's up, Hobbs?
I heard you on that, Mark. As far as the only 3 movies in the franchise, I have not seen all the Hellraiser movies, and I should get on that because I've heard that they were shit and then they got better. And I stopped when they were shit, so I'm not sure. I haven't seen
Hellraiser? I love the first 2.
Well, sure, yeah. I mean, what's not to love? They're amazing.
I kind of lost Hellraiser after the third one.
Yeah, I think it got like really bad, and then I just was like, there's a lot of other stuff to watch, and never followed up on them. But I heard that there are quite a few of them that were pretty good. Like I don't even remember, like Judgment maybe was supposed to be good or something.
I heard that, and I have it, but I haven't bothered since the others were so terrible.
I have it, and I think I fell asleep watching it. I think I was watching it in bed one night and fell asleep. That's the first one that they did without Doug Bradley, isn't it?
I think maybe that is correct.
I think so.
Come on, guys, back me up here and tell Rick to watch the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise.
Yeah, man. You haven't watched that franchise, Rick?
He's only seen the first one.
The first one? The second one, I really like. Craig loves it.
I like this.
I really like. I was talking to I was actually talking to Cody and Al the other night about because Al had just watched Sleepaway Camp for the first time, and he was talking about the curling iron scene, and I was like, I saw that when I was a kid, and it never clicked in my mind like what was going on with the curling iron until like a few years ago, and then same was true with the Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I never saw any of the gay themes or anything until just a few years ago. So it's just like one of these things, like I have like whatever context blindness or something because I watched them when I was a kid.
Somebody
My
was
favorites.
about there's actually a documentary was made about the dude who was the star of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2.
Yeah, it was recent too, right?
Yeah, I just saw it like a week or two ago. Somebody online talking about it.
Yeah. I heard it was good.
Trash says 3 and 4 are his favorites, and I'm with him. Those are my 2 favorites.
I would say I'm with Craig on this one, except I don't think it's quite the best, but it's up there, man. And a lot of it is nostalgia. And I love that Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I love the scene in Grady's room. Like that to me is like such a cool fucking scene, man. It's like he's like a were-Freddy almost. It's like a werewolf transformation, but with Freddy.
I love the ending of Part 4.
Is that end in the church? No, that's the Dream Child.
When the souls are escaping.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, that's in the church. Yeah, we just watched that a week or so ago, me and my daughter.
Ben Grimm's asking, by the way, just real quick, if that's the one with the invisible Freddy karate scene. No, that is number 4, Dream Master. Right? Yeah. Is it 5?
No, it's 4.
It's 4, yeah, because it's the Dream Master. Because
It's Alice's brother that did the karate stuff. So
Is that the Oh no, I'm thinking of the comic book Kill. Yeah, sorry.
I mean, that karate stuff was pretty good. He's no Busta Rhymes, but that's all right.
the comic book Kills Part 5, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
I was thinking of that.
I
I
like
like
that one too.
the kill in the classroom where the girl gets her breath taken away. That's in part 4, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. What a suck face.
Yeah.
My favorite kill in that movie is the Roach Motel.
Me too.
Yeah, that one's amazing.
Me too. Hands down.
Yeah, easy.
And,
I do like.
the soul food pizza.
And probably my favorite kill in part 3 is the puppet kill.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I can see that. Part 3 has a. Wait, it's not part 3. Is it part 4? Which one is the one where the dog pees fire all over Freddy to resurrect him?
That's for the resurrecting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite unkilling scene in that, I think.
And I just realized we're spoiling everything for Rick there. Oh shit.
Wait, what'd you say, Andrew?
I just realized because Rick hasn't seen any of them, we're doing major spoilers. Sorry,
I
Rick.
mean, yeah, spoiler alert, it's about a dream killing, and the dreams are weird.
So this is funny. Last night, me and my daughter, my wife was doing a scrapbook Zoom with her friends, and so me and her watched Texas Chainsaw Remake.
Nice.
And at the beginning of it, it was funny because that one in particular, I like to look at the cast because you know from the beginning who's going to survive and who's going to die and why. It follows the formula. And I asked her, and I said, "Can you tell right now who's going to live and who's going to die?" And she said, "No." And I said, "Well, let's watch the whole movie and then I'll explain it." And after everybody died, we backed up, and I said, "All right, that one's going to die because he's got drugs. That one's going to die because he's making out with a chick he doesn't know. She's going to die because she's the chick that he didn't know, and this one's just an asshole." So, and I laid out the whole horror movie rule book formula for her. She thought that was kind of funny. So,
And Jessica Biel's not going to die just because she's Jessica Biel.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then we watched Wishmaster after that.
Classic.
And I love Wishmaster. I was talking to Mark a little bit about it at one point, just because of how many cameos there are in that movie. You
I
know,
haven't seen that movie in years.
just for horror fans, you watch it and there's Reggie Bannister, Kane Hodder, and
Yep.
Ted Raimi, Robert Englund, Tony Todd. I mean, Buck Flowers, is that his name?
Yeah. But
Just tons of people in that movie. So it's a fun movie.
I've never seen it.
But a movie, talking about franchises that got worse as they went. Good Lord, Wishmaster is one of them.
I have that Vestron Wishmaster collection. I kind of like the first one. Wishmaster to me is kind of like Leprechaun. It's okay. I don't love it. You know what I mean?
I love the first one. After that, I'm kind of meh.
Leprechaun is something that I don't think I've ever seen a Leprechaun movie, period.
Really,
Never.
I like Leprechauns.
There's only
I tried to find it to review it for St. Patrick's Day this year, but it wasn't on Shudder, it wasn't on Amazon, and it wasn't on Netflix.
I bought a 7-disc set at Walmart, and then turned around and found it in a steelbook. So I gave away the 7-disc standard def.
Yeah, I got the next time I see it, I'm going to buy it. So
It's
look
worth
at my review in St. Patrick's Day 2021.
Hey,
Cody.
Andrew, I got
Yeah.
something to show you real quick. This will be more detailed on a later video, probably next weekend, but it's yeah, there you go. Mondo Records.
Yeah.
It's not the whole set. I bought parts 4 and 5, and it came with. Oh, you already got it. Hell, look at that. All right.
I don't think it's empty though.
Okay. See, I
the vinyl. I just got this online for $10.
so I ordered parts 4 and 5 and got the box for free. And
I love,
do what?
I love that image there on the back there.
Yeah,
with
that's
Michael
great.
and, Jamie.
Yeah, with Michael's ghost behind her.
Mhm.
So I ordered part 4 and 5 and got the box for free, and already had parts 2 and 3. So last night or night before last, I went ahead and got on their website and ordered part 1 in a clear with orange and black splatter. So that should be a cool looking one. I've got 3 copies of the original soundtrack on CD. I just never did have it on record.
Do you go to somewhere in particular to buy your soundtracks, Cody?
Do what?
Do you go anywhere in particular to buy your soundtracks?
Most of the time I pick them up either at like an FYE or maybe a Best Buy, but
Okay.
a lot of time I'm just ordering them online.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cody. The only 2 I've got on vinyl, the Halloween 2 from Death Waltz,
That's cool.
and this one.
Yeah. So I've got that one, and then I've got the expanded edition that they put out for 2018. My Halloween 2 is from Mondo.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I really wanted the you know, that Mondo release of the original Halloween soundtrack, the one with Michael, the white face on the cover, like the
And-
mask,
And
and
like,
then it had the house in his mouth or something.
that's not the one I got. I got one where it looks like he's looking through a window that's got rain on it.
Yeah, that's the newer one. Well, the
Yeah.
one, the other one from Mondo's worth $500 now.
Damn. Yeah. So I'm gonna when the other one comes in, I'm gonna do a video on the whole set.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah, the Halloween 3, 4, and 5 soundtrack are like $60 here, so a little bit out of my price range.
right, I got them for like 30 a piece, I think.
I love the that artwork, by the way, on that collection box.
Yeah, it's what we were just talking about when you stepped away on your call.
Yeah, it's awesome. I remember, like, I want to say it was one of the giveaways. I gave away the Halloween 4, the original Halloween 4 soundtrack that I picked up at Tower Records when it was a new release back in the 80s.
Yeah. According to this, they released it again here in 2018, and it was the first time it's been released on records since then. So they, according to the tags on the records, they did it to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Halloween.
Nice.
John, have you ever met any of the cast from any of the Halloween movies?
Yeah, I met Daniel Harris, Dick Warlock, Ellie Cornell, Tyler Main, and I think that's it. Just those 4.
Man, meeting Dick Warlock would have been awesome.
Tyler Main is a big some bitch.
I believe it. He
He's
looked big.
Was Dick Warlock awesome?
Yeah, he was cool. It was like talking to a dad, but yeah, he was cool.
Hey, man, some dads are cool.
Oh yeah.
A couple of you guys are dads. Yeah, exactly. See?
Oh,
So Mark, do any stores near you sell Funko Pops?
Yes, but I don't really shop for them there. People tend to get them for me.
Yeah, because I was going to say I definitely recommend getting the Dutch.
Yeah, the one that I saw that you sent me the picture of. That one was neat.
Yeah.
I'll make a note of that to pick that one up.
There you go, Andrew.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm.
Nice.
I didn't meet Dick Warlock when I had the chance. It was the second convention we ever went to. He was at, and we showed up, and I pretty much just had enough money to get Nick Castle, Adrian Barbeau, and Tom Atkins.
Nick
So-
Castle. Has to be so cool to meet Nick Castle.
He was
Oh, yeah.
really nice to talk to, and
I can figure out. I am thick. I'm 6'2".
Yeah, he's a big boy.
he's a big dude.
Yeah,
I mean, he was a wrestler, right?
he was a wrestler. Yeah.
John, I've got the autograph for PJ Souls.
That's cool.
There's Nick Castle. I don't have our picture with him handy at the table, but we did get one.
I think PJ still does horror cons, if I'm not mistaken.
I think she does too. Yeah.
Here's me and
Cool.
Rachel. Last one.
There you go.
Yeah,
She's the exact opposite of Tyler Main.
Now
She's
somehow,
great.
like Bronco Juggalo, for some reason, she is older than him, and for some reason, he thinks like you're a pedophile if you think she's attractive or something, even though she's like 40-something years old.
I halfway feel like that because it's like I've watched her since she was 10, you know?
Yeah.
I know, but
Yeah,
you were like
so
11,
cute.
dude. You were like
Huh?
11. She was like in your
Yeah,
class.
but it's still. and then the other one, since we're on that topic, the other one that she was so pretty to look at, but messes with me was Felissa Rose. I saw her at a con and I was like, she's hot, but the last time I saw her, she had junk.
She was 12 and she was a boy.
Right.
I love Felicia Rose. She's amazing. I've never found her attractive.
She did an intro on your channel, didn't she?
Yes,
One point.
yeah. She is a sweetheart, man. She's fucking awesome.
Oh,
She's
she
like
was
one of
real
these,
nice.
she's like a horror con staple. You know what I mean?
So
Just never been attracted to her personally.
she was sitting next to Kane Hodder when he went nuts with my machete.
Mm-hmm.
He scared her to death. That was funny. So
She probably got him back later with the curling iron.
maybe.
Mark, have you ever met any of the Alien cast?
No. And in fact, they had most of the Aliens cast in Knoxville, and I wasn't able to go. it was because Lance Henriksen was there. Lance Henriksen, Michael Bean, Jeanette Goldstein, and the guy who played Drake were all there at a convention, and I wasn't able to go.
So we met Michael Bean and Lance Henriksen at our first convention. And Lance Henriksen's one of my favorite con experiences just because my son was so young. It was our first one. He really wanted an autograph from him. And he was too shy to talk to him. I mean, he was signing his picture and everything, but he was just too shy. And I said, come on, talk to him. And he was like 10. And I said, tell him your favorite part. And Henriksen was really into it. And he goes, yeah, tell me your favorite part. What's your favorite part? And
That's all.
Sam said, I like it when the alien tears you in half and throws you. And he said, well, that wasn't my favorite part. And then he started talking about, the milk and the yogurt and all the stuff that he had to do for that. It was good. It was fun.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Has Sigourney and has she ever done any cons at all?
what was that?
Has Sigourney ever done any conventions?
Not that I've been to.
No, I've only gotten to meet Michael Bean, and I've never known Sigourney to do one.
The biggest name I've ever seen at one of my cons was definitely Jamie Lee Curtis, but we didn't meet her.
Oh, I think you were telling me about that. That was the convention she did the documentary on, right?
It was in Indianapolis. If you watch the 35th anniversary Blu-ray, and it's got the thing about a convention on it, it's that convention we were at. That was the second convention that we'd gone to where we met Nick Castle and Adrian Barbeau.
That's cool, man.
Adrian Barbeau.
Mm-hmm.
Va va boom.
Yeah,
Right?
I think for who was it? Was it Bronco Juggalo? One of his contests had you name your horror crush.
Oh, that was Drew, I think.
Was it Drew?
Hey, isn't that Devon Graham?
Okay, whoever it was, mine was Adrian Barbeau. So watching her in the fog and the swamp thing when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think mine was Linnea Quigley. I mean,
I remember when everything started going with COVID. You remember that picture I sent you, Ben?
I've seen a lot of pictures from you. Which one?
It was Linnea Quigley in the shower, and it said, "Wash your hands like you're washing Linnea Quigley." And you said,
yeah.
"I'd have some clean ass hands."
Yeah, she was. I just remember. I don't know. She had some memorable topless scenes and whatnot back in the day. That they spoke to a young Ben. That is for sure.
Indeed.
Yeah. So Brad, we were talking about before Brad joined up. We were talking about the Daniel Harris, his views on Daniel Harris. More power to you, dude. More power to you.
Crush.
Have a good night, Jason.
Trash says he wishes he could have met Bill Paxton. I agree.
Yeah, man, we lost him like way too early.
Not just Alien, but one movie my family loves to watch is Twister.
Yeah.
Love him in that movie. That he was always good in anything he was in.
Frailty.
Oh, Frailty. He's fantastic in Frailty.
See you, Jason.
And, A Simple Plan. I think he was good in that too.
Yeah, he was good in True Lies. Ben says True Lies.
The beginning of Titanic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chet in Weird Science.
Yeah, definitely Weird Science.
Radar Operator in Commando.
Oh. Yeah, he did a few films, huh?
That was
Predator 2.
Yeah. So that was one thing with Terminator Genesis. I mean, I know a lot of people hated that movie. I liked it well enough. I thought it was fun. I love seeing the old Arnold fight the young Arnold. But the dude that was supposed to be Bill Paxton's character when that fight started, I don't think they even tried to find anybody that looked or sounded like Bill Paxton. That was way off.
I saw that in the movie theater. It's the only time I ever saw it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
My biggest complaint is what's his name, Jai Courtney, playing Kyle Reese. No, I think if you wanted a younger Michael Biehn, you go with at the time you could have went with Tim Oliphant.
I got to watch that movie again.
So Cody gave me the digital code for that. He's like, does anyone want the digital code for Genesis? And I was like, yeah. And I thought it was like the Dark Fate. I thought it was the new one because honestly, I think the last one I had seen was Salvation. And I was like, this is like pretty lame because you're not so interested in it. But I thought Genesis was okay. But the whole time I'm like, where is that like enhanced chick? When's she going to show up? Like, it's the last 15 minutes. I'm like, I thought she was a bigger part of this movie, but.
Salvation was the one that Arnold primarily was not in, correct?
That was Christian Bale, right?
Christian Bale is John Connor, and we got to see a digital Arnold for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, at the end of the movie, right?
Before they blew its skin off, and then it was just a endoskeleton.
Yeah, okay.
Christian Bale. Can anyone ever watch a video without thinking of that rant video or
That was
audio?
hilarious.
That was during Terminator, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I don't know what.
when he was filming Salvation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like that guy so much more if I never heard that audio.
Yeah.
Um,
Has anybody ever seen The Machinist?
Yeah, I love that one.
yeah.
I have that movie. I've never watched it.
Oh, it's fucking good, man. It's
I heard
awesome.
that was really good.
Yeah.
And not just because I'm a machinist. It's just good too.
Yeah.
That one is so that was what he made before Batman Begins.
Mhm.
And in The Machinist, he goes down to I think 115 pounds. He loses weight in a like really unhealthy way. And then he comes back for Batman Begins, and they're like, "You're too big, dude." He was like 235 pounds or something. It was like, what the fuck, man?
I saw
Right.
Crazy son of a bitch.
before I bought The Machinist, and I couldn't even believe it was him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got pretty sick looking in that.
Well, Joaquin Phoenix did that too for Joker.
Yeah.
He lost a lot of weight for Joker.
Did you guys like the Joker?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was good.
So good. I loved it.
I always I was actually surprised by how much I like it because I've never really cared for Joaquin Phoenix,
Yeah.
and I'm biased, I think, against him because I hated Signs, and that's the first movie I remember seeing him in.
Yeah.
And then when he was acting all weird on TV and had his beard and his glasses, and I thought, all right, if a dude is that weird, I don't want nothing to do with him. If he's doing it for publicity, I don't want nothing to do with him.
There's a
And
couple of us weirdos here with glasses and beards.
it's just he was, on David Letterman, and it was like he was in another world. And
Yeah. When David Letterman ended that interview by saying it was nice talking to you.
I think he said something to him I thought was funny.
I miss David Letterman so bad I can't stand it.
Letterman was good.
Yeah. I haven't seen a lot of Joaquin Phoenix movies though. I saw Signs, obviously Joker. What was that movie he did a few years ago with the cell phone? Was it called Her?
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
I wanted to see that and I never saw that either.
I mean, it's really like a lot more romantic type film than I'm used to watching, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but I was very curious. It just seemed so friggin' strange that I was curious.
It was good though. I liked it.
Yeah.
Another guy that's way out there that acted weird on Letterman comes to mind. It's Crispin Glover.
That's a weird dude, man.
Very weird dude.
That guy's
I just watched
amazing.
The River's Edge a couple weeks ago.
What?
The River's Edge.
Oh, that was filmed in my hometown, Sacramento.
No shit. We just watched it a couple weeks ago.
Cool.
I was just talking about that the other night with Laura, and it was like I was telling her about it, and I haven't watched it in so many years, but that was like Keanu Reeves, Crispin Glover, Dennis Hopper.
Yep.
And that was filmed like near the American River in Sacramento. So I remember growing up, that was always like, oh yeah, River's Edge. I was filmed here, because we didn't have a lot of movies filmed there. Wisdom with Emilio Estevez was like the other one that was filmed there.
We watched Waterworld a week or two ago. Hadn't seen it in a while, but Dennis Hopper, man, he makes Waterworld for me. I love him in that.
He was good.
Yeah.
Real quick though, before we move on from Joaquin Phoenix, We Were Never Really Here. Is that what it was called? You Were Never Really Here. That's awesome, man. If you guys haven't seen that, see that. It's fucking like a brutal movie with him in it, playing like a brutal role, but it was good.
Yeah.
I think it's on Prime right now.
I wanted to watch that zombie movie you were telling me about, Ben. I wanted to watch it like Thursday, Blood Quantum.
Well, yeah.
I actually sat down to watch that movie and started watching something else, and I was like, oh, shit. I forgot I was going to watch that.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time. Like last night, I spent like an hour and a half looking through all the shit, and I was like, fuck, do I start a movie now? It's like 3-something in the morning.
That's exactly what I do. I'll look for a movie for 2 hours and then get pissed because I could have watched a movie in the time I was looking.
And you know what? I ended up watching Return of the Living Dead 3, which I've seen obviously a million times, and I was like, okay, let's just fucking do this.
It's
So
worth
I watched that one again.
it's worth watching again though.
Yeah, I love that one, man.
It's good to know I'm not the only one that does that silly shit.
Yeah, it's bad, man. Especially when there's so many options. Because I'm like on Prime, and I'm looking. Prime has a lot of pretty good horror movies, actually.
Stuff.
I was on Prime like a week or two ago, just flipping through, and I think I honestly thought about going out and working on a project, but as I flipped, I saw Death Wish 3.
Yeah,
I would sit there and watch the whole thing.
yeah,
And then I turned around and ordered it.
yeah. There's like movies. They're like old nostalgic movies are like comfort food, man. To be honest, like you watch them and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
I think Rusty Willpower did a video last night where she was talking about that. Like, she hasn't been watching a lot of horror because she gets anxious, and she was saying she's watching stuff that she used to like as a kid, and I'm like, well, that's horror for me. So I'm watching all that shit. You know, it's like eating a big plate of mac and cheese. You know.
The other day, I sat down to watch something, and I wound up coming across an old documentary about the drummer from the band Overkill.
Oh yeah.
I was like, "What the hell is this?" Overkill's from New Jersey, so
Yeah, they're badass.
everything that I can get my hands on regarding Overkill, I watch it, and it was pretty good. I had never even heard of it before.
Yeah, I like Overkill a lot. Back in the day, I had like I think it was their first 2 albums.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't listen to them for a lot of years. And then on Prime Music, they had like some of their more recent stuff, and I was like, "This is still good as fuck."
Their recent stuff is fantastic. It's really good.
I think they've gotten better, honestly.
Yeah, so do I. They actually followed me on Twitter, and I've been trying to get them to respond to me. I want to do a trailer for my YouTube channel, and I want to do "Welcome to the Garden State" as the theme song to my trailer.
Yeah, John, I really like your new little logo.
Thank you.
Yeah, the little file folder.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Thanks.
By the way, for like a metalhead reviewing horror stuff, you have like the most peaceful music in the background of your reviews.
I've had some thoughts about like a logo for me, because if you look at my thumbnail, it's part of that opening title where I've got the Jason figure and it says H&S. But if I could play with Photoshop or something, I always had this picture in my head, and I can visualize things great, but when I go to put them together, I suck at art and design like that. What do they call that? Graphic design. That's what I'm no good at. But I always had this image in my head of like the Terminator, RoboCop, maybe even Captain Kirk, all these elements of sci-fi from one side coming at Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, everybody from the horror side, and then in the middle you kind of put horror over them, sci-fi over them, and collectibles clear across the bottom.
That's a good idea.
It could be
I
fun.
love your thumbnails. Your thumbnails are cool. I love your thumbnails.
I like putting those together.
I use auto-generated thumbnails almost always.
Yeah.
Probably one of the reasons why I don't get like a lot of new traffic or anything through my channel. But
when I go to YouTube Studio, the auto-generated thumbnails is always like a shot of me with my hands up and my mouth open.
Yeah.
Like some guy somewhere on some server goes, "Oh, here's the worst image we can give him."
Mine are always about like this. Do you have Photoshop, Tony?
Do what?
Do you have Photoshop?
No, I'm gonna upgrade my computer this summer, and I think I will at that point.
Get it. It's fun.
But right now, I make my thumbnails with Snapseed.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I'll either grab a picture from Google, or I'll take a picture of something, and then I add my text, and then I use drama, and then I think grunge effect in Snapseed to get that consistent look.
I love it. I think they're so cool. That when I first came across your channel, immediately I was like, "These dudes got the greatest thumbnails." I
Thanks.
love it. Yeah, no problem, man.
I love the ones you've been doing, and the last one for Cannibal Pharaoh. I love the one.
agree.
I love the one where you're jumping up out of the boat and you're going to grab the girl from Friday the 13th.
I'm telling you, Photoshop's fun, man.
It is like all those Adobe Suite stuff is really fun.
Yeah.
I just don't I spend a lot of like energy making the videos, and then when it's time to like get them rendered and upload them, I'm just like, nah, fucking here. take it. I should probably get better at that. But I think Cody's are good because he has like a visual language that is cohesive throughout all of his thumbnails. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they jump out on my subscription feed really well.
Me too. I don't even have to see what it says. I see his thumbnail and I know who it is. It doesn't matter what it says.
I like the one I had put together for tonight too, because I was able to, if we were going to talk The Shining and Sleepaway Camp, I could put those two images of them looking at each other.
Yeah.
I thought was good.
Yeah, I noticed it immediately. I thought that was really cool.
So we touched on Felissa Rose earlier. Should we talk about Sleepaway Camp a little bit?
Sure.
Let's talk about that shit.
I will say off the bat, I've not seen Beyond Part 2. There's 4 of them, isn't there?
I haven't seen Beyond Part 1.
Really?
What?
Nope.
Part 2's good.
Yeah.
Part 2 is fine. I think Sean Urshan has a giveaway going right now. Go check out Shouty to that guy.
Yeah.
But one of his questions is, who do you prefer as Angela? Felissa Rose or God damn it, Pamela Springsteen? And for me, 100% Felissa Rose, 100%. Because the first Sleepaway Camp was the first horror movie I saw. And so that she's like ingrained in my mind hard as the face of that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Nope.
You're missing out.
Wasn't
Nice.
that box set the one that the Red Cross had a problem with when it first came out?
Yep. So
Yeah, there was one.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Mark,
they recalled these.
Mark,
It's kind of-
why did you show me up?
Every time, right?
He just like shows the same thing with a $100 bill next to it.
And the two people I would not get in a competition of showing something would be Mark and Phil from Phil's Creepy Vid.
Oh yeah,
Phil's got
Phil's
three-
got everything.
he
When I-
showed.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say he showed that survival pack on his like rare DVDs and Blu-ray stuff that he had.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to say the same thing. I was watching it too.
Yeah, Ben, it's this disc you're talking about. Sleepaway Camp 4, and there's just like one scene filmed for it, and it's on this disc.
I've never seen that.
There's Return to Sleepaway Camp.
Never
There's
seen that.
Return to Sleep, but there was that actual Sleepaway Camp 4 that they started, but they didn't get anywhere with it. So what footage they have was a bonus disc on the in the Sleepaway Camp set.
That's awesome.
Is the footage any good, Mark?
No, no, it is not.
But John, I highly recommend the 3 Sleepaway Camp films. They kind of go down in quality with each one, but they're all really good though.
I'm with Andrew on that. It's like when you keep making copies of a copy,
Yeah,
Like multiplicity.
like multiplicity. Standard, Michael Keaton's best work. I'm just kidding.
yeah. They filmed Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 back to back, and for some reason I like 2. I don't like 3. Yeah, they didn't even seem to have a script for 3. It was like a bunch of people. They just said, "Go ahead and ad lib it."
Yeah, I'm with you on that because nothing was as good as the previous one. Nothing. Like the gore effects weren't as good. Some of the kills were interesting and stuff. There's like a lawnmower kill and whatnot, but like, yeah, for the most part, it was like two, but slightly but lamer, basically.
A lot of people seem to like part 2.
Two's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, part 2 is really good.
So part 1 is inadvertently campy, and then part 2 is very purposefully campy.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of thing. And I always think I always applaud horror movies that don't embrace the camp. The ones that do are fun and stuff, but it's a lot harder to make a more serious horror movie, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a lot easier to fail. So I always appreciate it when people do that.
I saw the first Sleepaway Camp at a very, very young age, and the end of that movie was just emblazoned across my brain.
Yeah,
I
100%.
always think of what John Carpenter said about making horror movies. He said the worst kind of movie, in his opinion, to make was a comedy.
Yeah.
He said, because everybody's worried about the timing, everybody's worried about the reaction shot. He said, but on a horror set, the more blood you bring out, the more fun everybody has.
But it's also
Did Al like Sleepaway Camp?
Al did. He said it was a lot funner than he was thinking it was going to be. And I was like, yeah, you know, because I mean, I've said this a few times in a few different videos, but for me, it was like the most terrifying thing I'd ever seen when I was a kid. And then I rented it again in high school to watch with some friends, and it was like one of the funniest times I've ever had watching a movie. So it like runs that whole thing, you know. So it's kind of like a mixed bag for me. But the end, even though like we're all woke as fuck now and everything, and no one really gives a fuck about people's whatevers. I mean, at least I don't know. Where I live, it's just like no one gives a fuck. So, but that ending still like is off-putting, and not because of the spoiler alert. Everyone, you know, it's not because of the extra parts. It's just the way it's executed, man. That like frozen look of like on her face. It's just like very off-putting, man.
Yeah.
The other ending that I never could get out of my head, and it's funny, the fact it's related to parts again, was Pieces. That final shot of Pieces where the body reaches up and grabs the dude.
Yeah.
Classic, man.
Never could get that out of my head either.
That one's based on a true story. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that Pumpkinhead.
I mean, that's like a pretty silly ending for that movie. I mean, it's, you know, it's just like it's just like a straight up killer for most of it, and then all of a sudden it's like this weird like twist ending. It's like,
right.
I mean, but yeah, it does stick
It
out.
was
In your mind.
so out of place and took me by surprise. I think was, yeah.
So Q's asking, what's your favorite kill in the Sleepaway Camp? He says his is the cook.
The cook. Me too.
Classic. And the cook doesn't actually die.
He
that
just
we
gets
know.
skin boiled. Yeah.
Yeah. He just yells for a long time. They're like, he's probably lost his mind from the pain.
Everyone in the film is so sleazy.
Do what?
Everyone in the film is so sleazy.
Yeah.
Imagine them trying to make that today.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they can pull it off. I think people still push boundaries. You know?
Rob Sleepaway Camp.
I have a fucking skull. Fuck you, Angela.
That's what I always come back to with Rob Zombie.
Oh,
Told you what I said to my friend about him. I read somewhere, and I cannot remember where or why, but the article claimed that he was going to work on an autobiography of the Wright brothers.
oh God.
In the first flight, and I told my buddy, I said, I wonder at what point in the movie does Wilbur threaten to skull fuck Orville? They have a disagreement on the angle of the wings, and that's where it is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, or like when he tells Orville like his daughter's got a real nice dumper or whatever.
Yeah.
And I love William Forsythe, but man,
Yeah, he's great, man.
he's off-putting in that role.
Have you seen Things to Do in Denver when you're dead?
A
No,
million years ago.
That was a good one. Christopher
Yeah.
Walken, man. Christopher Walken's pretty funny in that.
I always liked him in Raising Arizona,
God, I
and
love that movie.
I liked him as Denzel's buddy in Virtuosity.
I don't know if I've ever seen Virtuosity.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I love Denzel. I'm surprised I haven't seen that movie.
That's Denzel and Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe is an android.
Uh-huh.
Denzel's
Yep.
Denzel's trying to chase him down. It's a good movie.
Haven't seen Russell Crowe in anything in a while.
No, he's been kind of quiet.
Noah, I think, is the last movie I saw him in.
He actually
I
has
definitely-
one out in another month or two. That's all about road rage.
Yeah.
What was that? South Park had him going around on a boat, sailing the world, beating people up. I haven't watched any of them yet, but there's been some videos or thumbnails anyway popping up about the next Mad Max movie. Has anybody heard anything?
Oh no!
No.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, but I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I've heard is they're not having the same actress who played Ferocia.
Who played the who?
I forget her name. Was that Charlize Theron?
Yeah,
Her character? Okay.
yeah, she won't be in it.
Doesn't matter. If it's that same sort of creative team,
Yeah.
I'm on board 100%. I mean, man, what a physically awesome production. Man, that production was fucking
Man,
amazing.
Fury Road, when those dudes were on the end of those poles swinging back and forth, that was incredible.
Yeah,
Dude, all of those, I mean, all of, like, yeah, man, the practical cars they made and like the chase scenes and like all the stunts and stuff, just fucking amazing.
Yeah.
and real stunts. Only a little CGI used to accent things, not to replace
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I,
I
love
mean,
the part where those guys came out from the sand dunes.
yeah,
I like the music truck. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
yeah, the man, that movie, I've said it before, I'll say it again. That movie, I was so excited by the trailer, and I was like, "Ugh, am I going to be pissed about this when it sucks?" But the trailer looked so fucking good, man.
There's a lot of
And
hype on this movie.
And it
So-
came out, and I was like, "Oh man, this one fucking hit it out of the park." It was like, it was amazing.
So
Love that movie.
my buddy that's got the big projector room and all that, he says hands down Fury Road's the best movie he's got to watch in that theater room, because I guess he's got like what Dolby Atmos does 32 channels, something like that. He's got 18 in his theater room. And he said it's just mind-boggling how good the sound is. So
That's a beautiful movie, man.
I need to go back and pay some more attention to the soundtrack because I saw it on colored vinyl. So if it's one that I like, I maybe pick that up.
You're gonna pick it up either way.
I probably will. I told somebody I'm in need of a 12-step program, I think.
I've been
Where do
through
you
a
get
few
your
of those.
vinyls from, Cody?
What?
Where do you get the vinyls from?
Mainly the suppliers' websites. The three big ones I go to is Waxwork, Mondo, and Sacred Bones Records. And,
Oh, right.
and then
Buy them.
then whatever I see on Amazon, and then Disc Replay, when I go to them, they stock records too. So just kind of here and there, but mainly from the websites of the companies, that make them. The next ones I have coming is that Halloween one I said I ordered.
Mhm.
Friday the 13th, Part 7 from Waxworks, but it's a pre-order, and I think it's supposed to come out next month. And then today, because it was on sale, I ordered, and this is ridiculous, but it's it's only a 7-inch, like 45 RPM single, but it's out to the 12-inch in size.
Yeah.
It's the opening theme from Star Trek, and the album is cut to look like the Star Trek emblem in command gold, and they only made 1,701 of them, you know, because the Enterprise is 1701. I ordered that from La La Land Records for like $15. So,
How big of a collection do you have?
not real big. In fact, I've got some stuff at my parents' still to pick up from them, but really what I got is on these two shelves right here.
That's pretty decent size.
So,
Yeah.
not huge, but enough.
Yeah.
So that's my table in my video I posted today.
I was just getting ready to ask you if that, because I haven't watched that video yet. I was going to ask if that was your new table. All right.
Yeah, it's just, I thought about doing a video of making the table, but I figured, you know, having everything out there set up and the dust flying and would be a pain. So I just showed the finished product.
I always like whenever I do stuff like that, I'm always like, oh yeah, I'm gonna totally like document this, and I never do.
I take pictures of the progress. That's about it. So
I've got like a bunch on my other YouTube channel. I have a bunch of GoPro footage and making montages for my motorcycle project. So I was pretty good about that one, but
I was thinking about doing a little bit of vlogging when this whole quarantine started, but I was worried that I would get caught up, more concerned with the vlogging than I was with whatever I was vlogging about. So I decided that I'd be better suited to not do that.
yeah. Well, I mean, your mukbangs are kind of a vlog to me.
Yeah, they're
because
easy.
usually, so I'll be honest with you. When I first run across your channel, I would watch your movie reviews, but not your mukbangs.
Uh-huh.
Because when I thought of mukbang, I thought of people piggishly shoving stuff in their mouth and the kind of crap you see from Japan. But then I watched one and I thought, wow, this dude's just talking while he's eating lunch.
Uh-huh.
And I like just hearing you work out what you're going to do for the week. So
Yeah, fun. Those things are fun. They're a lot of fun. And so much easier than those movie reviews.
that's how I feel about the motovlog stuff. The motovlog stuff, like, don't set anything up. I just go on like a motorcycle ride and just talk. You know, it's like a lot easier. Movie
yeah,
Massacre.
I've had just a. Oh, sorry. What?
I just said Movie Massacre up in the house.
Oh, I've just had a few videos kind of where I was, doing a brain dump, and that was like, a video or two of, upcoming figures that I want or stuff like that. I don't do it too often, it seems like.
I figured these are sort of like brain dumps for me.
They are.
Yeah.
And actually, before we started doing these together, when the quarantine started, and I do them on like Sunday night when I was editing videos, that was kind of what they were. It was like a vlog, but you had people in the chat. So, yeah, I'm glad I got on here. I mean, John, your conversation this past week was about if you're thinking you want to do YouTube, just do it.
Yep.
And I wish I had done it back when I thought about starting to do it, which was like 2017. I thought about it and never did it. And I was scared to do it. And I thought it would be dumb or people wouldn't like it I like it's a big part of me now.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too. If I actually did it when I started thinking about doing, I'd be a couple years into this now.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to be afraid of at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, I had a motorcycle channel before I started this channel, and that one I did some talking, but it was always with a GoPro mounted on my helmet. And then I remember I went to do like a talking head video for that channel. I was like, wait, fuck this. I'm not going to do this. Because you just feel so damn uncomfortable talking to a camera when you first start. You know what I mean? But then I started this one. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna feel uncomfortable. I went and watched. I used to watch his videos a lot more, but I watched Drum Dum's first video just to see how lame he was, and I was like, oh yeah, that dude sucked. So I'll be okay.
What's he like 40 or 50,000 subscribers now, something like that.
Something
He's
like that.
Yeah.
He's blown up the last couple of years. He was like, I think 10,000 or something when I subscribed to him.
He's with Cody Leach. He's up there too.
There's a couple times I've thought about going back and hiding or deleting my first video because it was of my Dawn of the Dead autograph set, and the camera's sideways. You can't hardly hear me. It looks like crap.
Yeah, but
when you have like 50,000 subscribers and someone's like, damn, I want to do this, but I'm going to suck. And they go back and watch that first video and they're going to be like, oh man, I can do this because that dude sucked.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You can't delete that old stuff, man. You look back at it, and that way you can see how far you've come.
Right.
No, it's, I guess, I think probably everyone goes back and looks at their sort of like early stuff and cringes a little bit or whatever, but that's part of the process,
Yeah.
I've gotten better, and I think, and I actually have a stand now that I can put my phone on to record things better. I think I'll pick up a real camera sooner or later. I got the lights that Ben sent me, making my toys look better. So I'm wanting to do like a white backdrop and get a turntable. Haven't done that yet, but I'd like to get one of them little $30 turntables to actually, turn the figure and show it off a little bit.
Al's got one that looks nice. Should ask him what time he has.
Do what?
I said Al's got one that looks nice. You should ask him about his.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it something that's made specifically for displaying figures, or is it like a cake decorating thing?
So the ones I've looked up, if you look up like display turntable, that's usually it's like for displaying jewelry in a store window or. Yeah.
That's cool. The only reason I asked is as soon as you said that, I went to culinary school, and as soon as you said that, I started thinking about the thing that they turn, that they decorate cake. It's like that cake carousel.
That'd probably be very similar. I don't know what kind of RPM settings those have, though.
Right, you're talking about like a cake lathe? That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Never really thought about that.
I think a lot of them I was looking at were like something like 5 RPM or something, or maybe even up to 10. Just something nice and slow.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want it spinning around, throw your things on the floor.
Right. Well, I could put it on my turntable.
And go for it. I think I always like the hand videos where people are, because they can you can emphasize like what you're talking about when you're talking about it instead of I think that Al does it nicely where he just does like turntable at the end or something,
That's what I want to do. Either right at the beginning, a little turntable, or at the end.
Yeah.
But hey, speaking of turntable, I got my new mat this week.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
It was either this or the one that looked like the Death Star.
I like that one.
Yeah, I like this one.
Yeah, for sure. That I was talking with Cody because he showed me that on Messenger, and that pattern is like synonymous with The Shining, but it wasn't for a lot of years. I mean, you would probably recognize it if you saw it or something, but it wasn't like something that was used to represent The Shining until relatively recently.
Yeah.
Interesting, since it's such an old movie. Yeah, and it's like such a.
I got my mouse pad too.
That goofballs like us probably would all recognize it, but the common man wouldn't know what that was. But they'd be like, "Oh, that's pretty."
Right. I found a place selling masks made out of it.
Yeah.
I need one of them, I think, just to see if anybody at work knows what it is. A couple will, but most won't.
Yeah.
Get a tie, the shining tie.
Well, he was talking about they have the Shining cardigan with that.
Yeah, I'd love that, but they only had it in small.
Yeah. That's so cool, man.
Yeah, I guess
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the other thing we were gonna talk about on HNS Collectible Stream was The Shining.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we come around to that now.
40th anniversary of the release was today.
Wow.
That was why I thought we'd throw it up as a topic. But I'll be honest. So I watched Doctor Sleep again the other night with my daughter so she could see it.
Mhm.
Almost right now, I think if you laid those two movies down in front of me, I'd pick Doctor Sleep to watch.
Yeah.
I like that movie so much.
But it's a movie you've seen way less. So I
Right.
mean, how many times have you seen The Shining? You know, of course you might.
Listen.
I mean, as much as I like Kubrick, there's so much more, it seems like, action in Doctor Sleep. You know, 2001 is tons of silence outside the ship. The Shining is tons of Nicholson staring into the camera. But it's all effective.
Yeah.
I think I would go with the original Shining. I think I've only seen Doctor Sleep once, but
Me too. I only saw it once.
the original Shining is a beautiful movie to watch, man. It's shot fucking beautifully.
I
It
love it.
is. And I love the interior design of that hotel.
Yeah.
I love what Kubrick did with trying to disorientate the audience, how all the architecture of the building is impossible and stuff like that, you know. And it's funny when if you try to pick out a mistake in the Kubrick movie, it was probably put there on purpose.
The carpet with the scene where Danny's playing with his ball and his ball rolls up to him.
Yeah.
The carpet's facing in two different directions, back-to-back scenes. That's the only mistake that I know of, anyway.
Right.
Have you guys seen that documentary Room 237?
I love it.
I fucking couldn't even finish it, dude. I'm watching it, and these guys are like, I mean, it's just basically they're treating it like a one of those Rorschach ink block tests where they just say whatever the fuck they feel like saying based on some stuff that they saw. They're like, oh yeah, this movie represents like that time I fucking was kicking a soccer ball and some kid punched me in the face. I'm like, dude, that had nothing to do with shit.
I got such a kick out of listening to those people because one guy said that the movie was to represent what happened to the Native Americans. But the best guy was the one who said it was Kubrick's secret way of telling us he filmed the fake moon landings for the government.
Obviously.
And all the symbolism was in the scene where the ball rolls up to Danny. And I listened to people like that and just like, oh my God, these people are out there and they're loose.
Yeah. It's obviously obvious, dude. How can you not see it?
I was so blind for so many years.
I know. It's like those fools that say the earth is round. Just kidding. Flat earthers, man.
We were talking earlier about how memorable the end of Sleepaway Camp is. I mean, how many scenes in The Shining are just completely burned into your psyche?
Oh, yeah.
So,
him looking through the door.
The girls in the hallway, the blood in the elevator.
Right.
The shots of them driving up to the Overlook, man. That to me is like, I'm just like, oh, that feels so fucking like the 80s to me right now.
Right.
I just remember watching that. Yeah.
The opening credits, with that shot over the water.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Which, I love it. They did not try to recreate that for Dr. Sleep. They used the original shot and darkened it so it looked like it was at night. Dr. Sleep had, enough news story and just enough fan service to make me really happy. So
I remember sitting in the movie theater watching Dr. Sleep with my son and just the hair on my arms standing up at certain things where they would go back into the hotel or certain familiar scenes in the movie.
Right.
My wife and I and my son went and saw that right after it came out, like immediately after, maybe opening night. So good.
The one that got me was when he's walking through the hotel at the end, because very little of it takes place there.
Yeah.
When he's walking through before Rose the Hat gets there and he turns that corner where he saw the twins
Yeah.
but there's nothing there.
Uh-huh.
You know, I was expecting there to be something there when he turned the corner, but
Yeah. Me too.
They did a really good job with the fan service for that without like overdoing it or making it weird. Like the homage to the original was like really nice.
But that, and they did it in such a way that I think, you know, the people like us who've memorized every frame of the old movie, we're happy. But then people who aren't so familiar with the old movie, there wasn't anything going over their head,
Yeah.
you know. And the other kind of movie I always gave credit to that was J.J. Abrams' Star Trek.
Mhm.
There was enough fan service to the fans of the original series like me who had it memorized, where there was jokes sitting in the theater where my buddy who did not know Star Trek laughed at it, and so did I, and we were laughing for different reasons. That's what I thought was cool. And the one that stands out is when Kirk and Sulu are getting ready to go and destroy the laser. And Kirk asks Sulu, you know, what combat experience do you have? And he says fencing. If you like the old series, that joke is great because there was an episode where Sulu ran around fencing. But in his mind, my buddy who was not aware of that, he thought the idea of fencing being combat training was, you know, he was laughing at that as if it was something sarcastic. You know, I think that's good script writing.
I saw the remake of the newer Star Trek movie, the first one. I thought it was pretty darn good.
Oh, they did great. They even did really good with the second one. Third one was a little weak.
Yeah.
But
Was the third one the one where they had they like destroyed the villain with the Beastie Boys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure.
Yes. I guess I think Simon Pegg wrote the third one. And there was talk of a fourth one, but last I heard they wanted it to be a Kirk father and son thing, and they were going to bring back Chris Hemsworth to play Kirk's dad, but he wanted like Thor money to play Kirk's dad.
Sure.
And the studio said, well, maybe. And then Chris Pine said, well, wait a minute, I'm Captain Kirk. I ought to get Thor money.
Exactly.
And then it went nowhere.
Yeah. And then they're like, fuck all you Thors.
Right. So
When I think of Thor, I always think of Bad Moon, by the way, because that was the name of the dog actor or the dog in that Thor. Rando, sorry.
I would have liked a fourth one, and I kind of thought, why not have some fun and do the whales again? Because you know, time travel plot line, that probe is still out there looking for the whales heading for Earth. So let's do it again. But enough about Star Trek. This is supposed to be a horror channel.
Any of you guys see Shelley Duvall on Dr. Phil a couple years ago?
Oh
No.
yeah, she's far gone.
She flipped her shit, man. She's gone. See ya.
Richie?
Almost unrecognizable.
What she said, Robin Williams wasn't dead and that she still sees him or something. She even talked about that.
Talks to him all the time.
Yeah. And I thought it was pretty awful of Dr. Phil to even have her on because she's sick.
She's gone, yeah.
And he was putting a freak show on the air there. I mean,
that's his thing, right?
I know, but
He's not there.
It just bothered me that much more, I guess. I gripe about the Hoarders show. You know, those people have a problem and they're parading them on TV like a circus act for people to look at and point fingers at. And I say, take the money that you put towards the TV show and help these people or lock them up. One.
Yeah, that's some serious shit there, man. I've watched that show and it's horrifying. That's horrifying, yeah.
That's like what you use to justify your collection to your like significant others, right? You're like, no, those people have a problem. I just have 1 million Jason figures. So
Right. Yeah, that guy collects old newspapers. He's
Yeah,
serious.
exactly.
I've got 6 copies of the same movie because the
Yeah.
covers are different. Yeah,
My old newspapers have articles about horror movies. Okay.
exactly. Maybe they hit too close to home is why I don't like them. So
I mean, that shows. Yeah. I mean, plus you've seen one or two. You've seen them all.
yeah, they're going to recommend that the guy clean the apartment. He's going to scream and throw a fit, and then they're not going to, do as much. And that was another show that devolved into that lets everybody argue reality show. I always loved was, you remember Monster Garage when it started?
Oh, yeah.
Loved
Oh, yeah.
that show for the first 2 or 3 seasons, and then it became who's Jesse mad at this week and why.
Yeah.
And then it lost me. It was crap
Oh.
after that.
And how about that guy? His whole everything seemed to dissolve into who is he banging this week and who's he got pregnant. And now I think he's living in Texas doing another car show. His whole everything.
Last I knew, he was
to Sandra
married.
Bullock for a second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was married to Sandra Bullock and then cheated on her or something.
Yep.
like a Nazi model or something.
Ought to have his head examined.
Did you ever see the show L.A. Inc. or Miami Inc., the tattoo shows?
Yeah.
No.
There was a tattoo artist on Miami Inc. that went and got her own show called L.A. Inc., and her name is Kat Von D. And I
Yeah.
know those two left L.A. and went to Texas together. And then I think he dumped her, and I don't know who the hell he's with now.
Well, she was dating Roy Orbison's son
Yeah.
or something for a while.
Orby. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember Pixie from those shows? I think she was on both of them.
Yes.
She was. My friend has a tattoo shop in Minnesota, and I went over there and hung out like one summer with him. And she was working there, and then I randomly saw her on TV, and I was like, "Wait, what the?" It was so weird. It was really weird.
Yeah, I watch way too much reality TV.
The ones I like is like Face Off, like
Face
the
Off.
yeah, like the creative ones, and actually Jim Henson's whatever the fuck it was challenge,
Yep, the monster
Pizza Shop challenge. That
Yeah.
was fucking awesome, man. I wish they would do it. I wish they'd do a second season of that because they just made like monsters.
Now Face Off is gone. Face Off is over. It's not coming back.
Is it?
No, it's over. The last time it was either a year and a half ago when the season was over, they announced, all right, that's it. See ya.
Uh-huh.
Shit. That was a cool show.
That was cool. I mean, they did like 15 seasons or something. Yeah, for like a guy who likes practical effects and stuff, that was pretty awesome. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Plus, they were all like not dicks to each other. That's the thing that like all those other reality shows are like, oh, no one's looking. I'm gonna like piss in this dude's silicone mixture or whatever.
Right.
like that one, they're just like, oh, you need help? Here, hold on. You hold that mold, and I'll break it open for you or whatever. It's just like
I used to have.
You froze, Cody, if you can hear us.
Cody's season up over there.
I'm not sure if any of you guys are into Lego, but there was a show over here called Lego Masters, and it was kind of like a reality show where the teams would compete, and that was sort of like what you were saying, Ben. Like everyone was supportive of each other and would help each other out.
It's nice, right?
It makes for a better show, I reckon.
I think so too, but a lot of people like the train wrecks. I mean,
Yeah.
it's human nature, I guess. I'd much rather see people like help each other and make awesome shit, but I'm just a fucking weird hippie, I guess.
It's like the difference between watching a British food show and watching an American one. In the British one, they all pitch in to help each other out. In the American ones, it's how can I cut the other guy's throat?
So they all pitch in to stab each other in the back. Do you watch a lot of cooking shows, Mark?
No, but enough.
Yeah, I used to watch a lot more of them.
Yeah, I used to watch them with my daughter when she was living with us, because she went to culinary school, and so we got a big kick out of them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I like some of the cooking shows. But my daughters like watching Nailed It. And I don't care too much for Nailed It because the host lady screams the entire time. I think she's a little annoying.
what do you mean? What do you mean?
I like, there was one though where they had kids cooking, and I always enjoyed watching that one because I was blown away by how good those kids were cooking.
Was
You
it
know,
Matt?
at that age, I couldn't make mac and cheese without boiling it over and getting it on the stove.
Is that Master Chef Junior?
I forget the name of it.
That's so damn good, man. Those kids are amazing.
Yeah. But what I was saying when I lost signal, I had friends who would have survivor parties and eat dinner.
Yeah.
And I went to one of them because I'd never watched the show. And I think just halfway through, everybody's like, "Isn't this great?" And I said, "This is awful." I
It's
said,
like the worst thing I've ever seen.
"Yeah." I said, "You know, these people stab each other in the back every chance they get when the camera's not on them." Or I see enough of this in real life. You know, I don't want
Yeah,
to
I
watch it
prefer
when I get
watching-
home.
I prefer watching people get stabbed in the back in a horror movie, to be honest.
There you go.
Yeah.
The only cooking show I ever watched and liked was Halloween Wars because that's just so fun.
Yeah, that's a cool show.
But there was also a reality show about what is it? Distortions Unlimited, Mask Makers.
Really?
They did like haunt attractions. Yeah, it was on the Travel Channel for a couple seasons. It was really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'd recommend it. I think you might be able to find episodes on YouTube. It's called Making Monsters.
Do you guys go to haunted hay rides and haunted houses and all that stuff every year?
Yeah, a little bit.
I have not been to any of those. Every time I see one, I'm in there in a second, heartbeat. I used to have a girlfriend and she hated them, and she went into a few of them with me, and she'd always just like was terrorized by them. And I was like, "No, let's do it." So then I had to start going solo. But yeah, I haven't been to many of those. Too many lately.
Last year
We got a little.
we went to several of them. We went to either 5 of them or 6 of them last year.
Our local volunteer fire department does a little haunted hayride.
Yeah.
You know, and we took the kids to it when they were younger, but we haven't for the past couple of years.
And we went to a really nice one last year, the Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia. It was really, it was cool.
There is one that's at the
There goes Ben.
Lost the host.
Now we go to there's a haunted hayride that they do here that's also hosted by a local fire department. We've been going to that one every year, at least once a year, sometimes twice a year for the last several years. But then we came across one. It's at a creamery, like a farm, and it's loaded with animatronics. There's tons of animatronics there. It's just really, really cool. The penitentiary that we went to last year was amazing. It's a tour throughout a real penitentiary in Philadelphia. It's just really cool. It was an awesome experience.
I think there's one up in Indianapolis that's like in a multi-floored building.
Yeah.
And it's 10 or 12 stories, and supposedly it's like $20 to get in or something, but every floor you make it through, they give you $1 back. It's supposed to get scarier as it goes. I mean, I'm sure there's some gimmick to it, but I've always wanted to go up and check out one of those.
Yeah, man, they're fun. We love them. I'm the only horror nut here, but my family seems to like those things too.
Yeah, I was trying to say something before I accidentally closed the window and like jacked my whole world up. Oh, the Winchester Mystery House is located in San Jose, which is near where I work, about like 10 minutes away from where I work, and about, I don't know, 40 minutes from where I live right now. But they do like a Halloween, like spooky tour of it that really wanted to go to last year, but didn't get a chance to.
Has anybody ever been to Universal?
Yeah. Not
Florida,
the Halloween Horror Nights. Sorry, just the theme park.
Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, I've not.
I want to go there so bad I can't stand it.
I almost went early, like in October, but didn't quite make it. I'd like to go the next time around. So it's not that far, and I have a bunch of family that lives down there and stuff. So
Yeah, I always told my
Anybody
wife,
heard?
if we ever saved up the money to go to Florida, then we have to go in October. And we have to go to Universal Studios.
See, I'd love to go, and our problem is to go in October. You got to yank the kids out of school because they only give 2 days for fall break here. And a lot of other places will get a week for fall break. We get 2 days.
No kidding.
And yeah, so yeah, fall break is a 4-day weekend. Now they get like a full 2.5 weeks for Christmas.
Yeah.
And a lot of schools around us have started giving a whole week for fall break, but ours still hasn't.
well, yeah, but their spring break has been months now. So
Yeah, the longest spring break on record.
exactly.
Um,
It's gonna go
I
through
did
the
hear
summer.
the other day, so jumping us off to COVID, I did hear the other day that our schools locally were talking about it being an option in August when school rolls around again to either send your kids in or let them e-learn.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure if that's going to be the case. And then the other story I've started to hear is that they're not going to have fall break or a lot of the holidays in the fall off and jam everything in as quick as they can and then let everybody out at Thanksgiving. Like they're trying to get everybody out before flu season starts.
Yeah, that's some scary stuff, man.
So we probably won't know what they're going to do until the day school starts.
Are you back to work at all yet, Cody?
But enough that I don't want to derail it. Yeah, I've been working at home and I've started going in 1 day a week now.
Okay.
Have you guys seen The Invitation, by the way?
No.
It was streaming on Netflix.
Yes.
I was talking about dinner party horror, and that one came to mind.
That's a cool thing, man.
It is a cool film, and
Yeah.
it's a lot different than you think it's going to be when you watch it.
Uh-huh.
That one's a slow burn that has that big payoff at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I put that on with next to no expectations one day. I was sitting home. When I'm normally working, I'm off on Thursdays, and I was home on a Thursday by myself, and I put it on. And I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, definitely. Check it out on Netflix. I don't know if it was a Netflix original, but
I don't know if it was.
I've got one dinner party horror movie I haven't watched called RSVP. And it's got Jason Mewes that plays Jay and Silent Bob. He's in it.
I don't think I've seen that.
But I've never watched it. I have it, but I've never watched it. So
Did anybody see the reboot?
which
Yeah,
one?
the Jay and Bob reboot, I hated it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh man, it started off fun because they were making fun of reboots and sequels and just it was a conversation with Brody in the comic book store.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because he like Brody, and you know how Jason Lee, how his delivery is as Brody. He says, "You want to know what a reboot is?" He said, "All right. Name me a movie that has a bunch of rebels fighting a guy that wears a mask and has a thing that will blow up a planet, blah, blah, blah." And Jay goes, "Easy, man, Star Wars." And he goes, "Nope, Force Awakens. That's a reboot." And they start tearing the Force Awakens apart. I was having such a good time with it. And then everything that they griped about a reboot being, let's wipe our ass with the old plot. Let's change up the gender. Let's change the gender of the characters just to do it. They did it. and the rest of the movie kind of follows Jay's daughter that he didn't know he had, and her friend who's deaf and can't talk, so she's the new Silent Bob.
Oh God.
And it was just awful from there on. I mean,
Jesus God.
I guess watch it once to say you watched it and see the 6 good jokes in it, but overall,
That's probably exactly what I'll do. I'll watch it one time and be done with it.
oh man,
There's a lot of people that were giving it a lot of love. A lot of like, I think Dave Maggot said he really liked it. I'm trying to remember who recommended it to him. But they said they watched it and it was like amazing. Oh, it was Evil Stevel, I think.
Really? I did not go in for it. And the other movies I love, except Chasing Amy, I've never been a big fan of that one.
I like Chasing Amy.
I thought it was fun.
But it's not as slapstick as the others, you know.
It's definitely more serious.
It is. But Clerks and Mallrats and Dogma, I love all those.
Yeah, I love Clerks.
Yeah, just didn't care for the reboot. Clerks was so good because do what?
When Clerks came out, it never came to a movie theater around me, and I live in friggin' New Jersey.
That seems unfair.
It's crazy. It never came here.
So I had a friend at Walmart who constantly talked about Clerks. And then later I saw Mallrats and then went back and saw Clerks.
Yeah.
And I just loved Clerks because I could identify with so much of it.
Absolutely.
You know, when they go off bitching about the customers and you got the milkmaid ladies and the guys that examine the eggs. And I saw all that at Walmart.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Yeah, I know that guy. I hate that guy, you know. There was an old woman who used to come in and she would empty out the whole milk shelf to get the one in the back. And she'd leave the 5 that she took out sitting on the floor and not even put them back in the case. What the hell's wrong with people?
Do you ever look at the website peopleofwalmart.com?
Yep.
Oh, God. I'm in tears laughing watching that stuff.
I tell you, the freakiest people I saw at our Walmart was when I was on the overnight shift.
Yeah.
The ones that don't want to come out during the day, those are the
vampires.
Those are the interesting
pajamas.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did you guys?
But whenever I say stuff like that, I always back it up with, "Well, thank God I'm perfect."
Yeah.
The thing about Clerks that I always think about is that was like a really successful independent movie, and it was like sort of the beginning of independent movies getting more and more distribution.
Yeah.
And I think it really like sort of blazed a trail for like a lot of smaller filmmakers.
Yep.
Really important in that way, I think.
That was even early in Miramax's existence, wasn't it?
Yep.
I mean, that was one of their earlier releases, and I know hearing Kevin Smith talk about it, he said that he advanced $30,000 on credit cards to make that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody asked him why he played Silent Bob, and he said, "Well, I wanted to have a part in the movie, so later on when everything went wrong, I could tell my friends, hey, you want to watch that thing that I run myself in debt and ruin my life for? I'm in it."
It's such a great movie, man.
So Kevin Smith, and talking about filmmaking, Tusk. Did you guys see it?
Yeah.
No,
I love that movie.
I didn't watch.
That is
I love the movie. I love the movie, but I also love the story of how it was made, because it got its sort of birth on a podcast where he was talking about a ridiculous ass news story he saw about like a Craigslist ad. It was like the British version of Craigslist. I think it's called like Gumtree or some shit. I don't remember, but it was like it was like, yeah, an ad for a guy who's like, yeah, come here, live, and then like you kind of have to dress up like a walrus every now and again, but that's like the only weird thing. And they were talking about it, and they sort of just like improvised this whole like screenplay on the spot, and then the people listening voted on if he should make it or not, and they made it, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
loved it. So
That's
good.
a crazy movie, man.
It is crazy.
I didn't see that one. I didn't see it, but I did not like Red State.
I liked it.
I thought it was all right.
I thought the premise of Red State, I thought, oh, I'm going to like this because, they're based on the West Coast people. I think what I hated about it was, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but Kevin Pollak got killed so quick, and I felt John Goodman was just wasted in it. Oh man, as much as I like elements of that movie, it makes me madder than hell how you take someone like Tommy Lee Jones and put him in a role about a guy that just doesn't have enough energy to do anything.
The thing that's like what I liked about that movie, and some people would maybe not like this about a lot of different movies and shit, but it's kind of like what I like about Horn too. People say it's scattered and like weird, but I like how it started out as like a sort of cheesy horror movie setup and then takes just a sharp left turn into like something totally different. And I actually really like that about it.
It did get a little weird towards the end.
Yeah, I liked it though.
I haven't watched that movie in a few years. I want to go back and rewatch that. I was actually just recently thinking about that.
I saw it when it came out.
I haven't seen it since it came out, but I remember watching it going like, okay, this is
very
going
different.
to be quite different than I thought it was going to be. And I really liked it. I mean, it's sort of I like that about it. I thought it was really fun. Yeah, Brad St. Tusk is on Netflix. Definitely good. Now, Brad likes Yoga Hosers. A lot of people really like Yoga Hosers.
I like Yoga Hosers too.
I didn't care for it, even I would say barely even a little bit.
It's just a stupid movie, but for some reason I liked it.
I think a lot of people liked it.
Yeah,
but it's sort of like a Leprechaun, that type of movie. So I think if you're like a big fan of that a little goofier style horror movie, then maybe you'll love it.
I think I just really am a big fan of Kevin Smith. I think that's what it boils down to. I dig Kevin Smith.
I'd love to go see one of his evenings with Kevin Smith. I love listening to his Q&As.
He's a smart dude, man. I have 2 of those on DVD.
I know I've seen at least 3 of them. I've seen, An Evening with Kevin Smith, An Evening with Kevin Smith 2, Evening Harder, and Too Fat for 40. I know I've seen those.
I don't think I've seen that.
I think it was Too Fat for 40. Too Fat for 40, he only answers one question.
Yeah.
And the question was like, what was it like to work with Bruce Willis? And he just goes off for 45 minutes talking about Cop Out and working with Bruce Willis. The whole damn show, he gets one question answered.
He can talk, that's for sure.
It was, he's a talkative dude.
Talk, man. He's a smart guy. I like him a lot.
So he's got
I love Comic Book Men too.
So did I. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
I'd love to go to that store.
Oh, God, yeah. I have a friend who goes up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How far is that from you?
Hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. I don't think it's anything crazy. He goes up there a couple times a year, and he was in there one time that they were actually getting ready to film.
Cool.
The guys who are on the show are typically not in that store.
Really?
No, they don't. They're not normally there. But one day he went up there, and they were all there.
Yeah, if I ever got up that way, I'd have to go.
Yeah. Yeah. He says it's pretty cool.
I could do without meeting most of them, but I'd like to meet Walt.
I'd like to meet Walt, too. I like Brian Johnson, too, though.
Was it? Tell him, Steve Dave.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Does anybody watch Impractical Jokers?
No.
One of the guys from Impractical Jokers hangs out there too. Those people are crazy.
Yeah, I never watched that show.
Oh my god, I've watched it way too much.
So
We
just
don't
touching,
have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, touching on Kevin Smith's horror movies, he had like he was gonna do like a Canadian trilogy, and I can't remember what the third one was called, and I don't know whatever happened to it.
I don't know what that is.
It was going to be Tusk, Yoga Hosers, and then there was a third one that was supposed to come out.
No kidding.
And I think it was filmed and everything. I just don't know if it ever got distributed. Anyone in the chat know?
I heard him talk one time about a zombie
Okay.
movie.
Brad saying Moose Tracks. Is that what it was called? Brad? That's a ice cream flavor I found out just now.
Yeah, it's good stuff too.
I've
There's-
never heard of it, but
Moose Tracks and Bunny Tracks. They're both good.
he's saying it hasn't been filmed yet. Well, this says it's from 2016. Maybe it was a different Moose Tracks. But anyway, I like Kevin Smith. I like how he's done the horror movies so far.
Yeah.
Andrew, did you see Tusk?
No, I haven't.
I've been always curious to see what Tarantino would do with a horror movie.
Yeah. I like a lot of
I
his.
think he wrote Dust Till Dawn, right?
Yeah, he
But actually putting him in charge of one.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
Tarantino a lot. Well, didn't he submit a script
And
for one of the Halloween movies?
not so much because I like him as a director. I don't remember.
I think that he
He's
did.
been in the news a lot lately talking about a script called Ocean's Death Proof. Yeah, I don't know if I call that a horror movie. That's my thing with Death Proof. So I loved Grindhouse, but man, some of Death Proof is painful to watch. And I like to think that he did it because the movies that he's paying homage to, Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, and Gone 60 Seconds and Vanishing Point, those movies absolutely sucked other than the car chase. So I like to think that's why he did it. But Kurt Russell in Death Proof, man, when the girls finally fight back and they shoot him and he's in the car crying and screaming, pouring whiskey on the wound, and oh, that was awesome. that was so good.
I dig Tarantino.
And the practical stunt work they did on that, the way Zoe Bell was actually laying on the hood of that car when they were doing that crap with no straps, no nothing.
I mean, I like that he
Crazy.
he met her as a stunt person, right? For Uma Thurman, maybe, I think is what it was. But
For Kill Bill. Mhm.
yeah, I like that he met her and just was like, well, let's actually just have you star in this movie instead of being like, sort of more behind the scenes and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, then, and since then, he's given her walk-on roles. She's Kurt Russell's wife in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She's the stagecoach driver in the Hateful Eight. Yeah, she's popped up.
She had like a sort of a little viral video that was going around that was actually really fun. Sometimes you see like these celebrities.
Two or
that do,
three of
like,
these
these
shows now.
what now, huh? Sorry, what now?
Not a time delay.
Yeah.
We're just getting pieces of thoughts.
Yeah, he's totally frozen now.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Zoe Bell had this thing I saw on Facebook, and it was like all these A-list celebrities and stuff, and usually like those ones suck, because they're just like done for like promotion or whatever, and they're like feel cheesy and weird and like contrived. But this one was really fun. It was just people like would punch the camera, and then the person would like react to it, and then they'd attack the camera, and it was like it was good. I watched the whole thing and was like thoroughly entertained. What's up, Sean Blue Digital in the easy? Good night, Janae. Cody, you were cutting out. We actually heard
All right.
absolutely nothing.
Can you guys hear me now?
There you are.
Yes.
Yeah,
We heard
so
you say show earlier.
I forget what I even said. Sorry.
What were you saying, Andrew?
did you end up watching that video that I sent you?
The Deaf-A-Real one?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. He's talking about a video. It was Heisenberg. It's kind of a weird. There's like this Godzilla YouTuber guy. He does like Godzilla figures and other stuff like that. And he's just he's called Heisenberg, and he's like basically dressed up like Heisenberg. And then he's got like an Asian counterpart that is just a normal dude, I think. But he was showing me a Godzilla figure.
I missed the shit out of Breaking Bad.
That was probably the finest TV show ever made, I think.
God, it was so damn good.
I agree.
I was late to the party too, man. I didn't. My wife and I didn't watch that when it was on air.
Oh, really?
No, because I'm too OCD. I didn't catch it from the beginning, so I didn't watch it. I waited till it was over, and as soon as it was over, we marathoned the whole thing. My God, it was so good.
I did it the same way I did Game of Thrones, which is it gets like halfway through the series, and I'm like, fuck this. Okay, I'm just going to go from the beginning and like binge my way through it because I can never really wait for it to complete,
I haven't watched Game of Thrones yet.
Ah, that's a good one, man.
I have all of it. I own all of it. Have never watched it.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, I got to check it out. The last series that I think she and I watched that we missed from the beginning, and then we wound up we marathoned the whole thing was Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys watch that show?
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh, phenomenal. It was great.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was
I
good.
thought the ending was I thought the ending actually sucked, the overall series.
I did
Yeah.
not like the ending. No.
Which is really a shame. It's like Dexter did the same shit where it's like a good series and then they just totally fuck it all up.
Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, the ending of Dexter was awful.
Yeah. Spend all that time to get invested in the show and they screw the end up.
I think Sean's trying to say Game of Thrones is greater than Breaking Bad. But he just did an arrow instead. It was like a bunch of arrows pointing. So it's like Game of Thrones was okay, and then Breaking Bad was way better. It like led to the greatness of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
That's what you meant, right, Sean? Just-
Yeah, I think he may hear you.
RD Zombie saying, are you guys excited for the new Chucky TV series? I saw that there was some news on it recently, but I didn't see what the news was actually.
I heard about it, but I don't know much. That's about my knowledge of it, as I heard that it was happening.
So that one was interesting because that one is done by Mancini, right?
Right.
And then the remake was like a splintered off from the production company side of things. So it'll be interesting to see how fans feel about the show that is like made by the original creator. It'll just be interesting to see how that goes. I'll be curious.
Yeah.
Apparently, they delve more into the Charles Lee Ray character in the show, which will be awesome.
Say it again.
apparently they delve more into the Charles Lee Ray's character in the TV show.
Is Brad Dourif involved?
I'm not sure.
Because it'd be hard to do I guess, well, I don't know. It'd be hard to do a prequel with him. He's kind of quite a bit older than he was in the first movie these days.
I don't watch a lot of television shows anymore, to be honest with you. I watch a shitload of YouTube.
I'm with you on that, dude.
I'm telling you, I watch a lot of YouTube. I drive my wife crazy.
Yeah, I watched YouTube and some movies for a while. I was watching pretty much only YouTube because I mean you subscribe to 200 people. I mean, what the fuck else are you gonna do?
I know. I can't, no matter how hard I try, I can't. I'm constantly checking my inbox and I cannot catch up. It's impossible.
Yeah, it is impossible. You have to sort of pick your battles, but there are definitely channels I watch every video of. But I've also been trying to get back to watching more just actual movies. You know, that sort of thing that made me want to start the YouTube channel.
Talking about answering comments, is that what you're talking about, John? Want to come back in?
They're watching people's videos.
Watching videos. Yeah,
that too.
I
don't know why the YouTube app on my phone quit notifying me of comments.
Yeah.
And I went on today and I spent a half hour responding to comments for the last week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it messed up on me, but yeah, there's so many videos to keep up on. It's hard to watch them all.
Yeah. I try and watch everything that U4 put out. And there's a couple other guys, Sean Blue Digital, Horrific Nightmares. I don't want to start naming names because I don't want to forget anybody, but I try to keep up with everybody, and it's next to impossible.
It is, yeah.
It really, really is. And on top of that, trying to watch movies and create, content, it's like a full-time job.
Right.
And then there's this guy, he puts on hour-long videos of Godzilla collections.
The nerve of some people.
Keep it to 5-6 minutes.
Then it wouldn't be the whole collection.
Yeah, the thing about YouTube videos is I either want them to be 5 minutes or I want them to be 45 minutes because I'm either going to watch it on my computer or I'm going to listen to it like a podcast while I'm working. Yeah. And then things that are 14 minutes, it's I gotta get in, let's do the next one. So I'm sort of in those two modes.
I watch it on my television set, which is a pain in the neck because in order for me to comment, I watch it on my TV and then I have to put my laptop on my lap and type the comments in. I watch YouTube on my TV all day long, all the time.
I don't think I have any hour-long videos coming up, Mark.
No. I'll watch them if you put them up.
I did think about a complete Waxwork Records collection video, but don't know if I'll do that yet.
Yeah, like Martin says, I can't keep up with everyone. I love all of you, but I can only watch so many videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm my videos, I always feel I don't know. I look at audience retention. I'm on my other channel, it's actually really good. On this one, it's not quite so good. So I'm always I'm just going to condense everything into the sort of tightest, 2 to 5 minutes that I can. You know what I mean? Because then I feel if I record a 45-minute video and someone watches 3 minutes of it, I'm going to be damn, well, I just fucking wasted 42 minutes of my life. But that's just me.
It used to drive me crazy. I don't worry about it anymore.
Yeah. Let's see, I'm catching up on the chat here. They were talking about Penny Dreadful. Did you guys all see that, by the way? Showtime series?
Not the new one, but the old one. I love it.
I saw the first season. It's a creepy gothic monster show, basically.
Yeah, very intricate, but also very slow moving. So
yeah.
It really put people off.
I liked the first season, but not engaged enough to try to, because I don't have satellite. I don't have Stars or Showtime, whatever it was on. So I have to like jump through hoops to watch those, I think, or watch them when I'm at my parents'. And I just never saw the second season.
Oh, I just picked up the full series when it went on sale.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. He will be right back. So let's go around here and talk about our favorite horror series or horror series you like. What do you think, Mark?
Oh, mine's easy because there's a childhood favorite, Kolchak the Night Stalker. It is so cheesy. It is completely cheesy, but it was great when I was a kid.
Yeah, I think I've heard a lot of people really talk, especially like Dana Gould. He's a comedian. He's got a podcast, and he's always talking about that show. And I've never actually seen it, though.
The funny thing is, for Kolchak, it started as two made-for-TV movies, The Night Stalker and The Night Strangler. And both of those are very suspenseful for TV movies. They're not cheesy. They're a lot of fun, but they're very suspenseful. The series, though, is all of the episodes are super cheesy. So it's like they went for a completely different tone for the TV series.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of interesting when they do that. You know, change up things for like a new like spin-off or something, you know, or really embrace the cheesiness too. Like,
my two favorite series when I was a kid were Kolchak the Night Stalker and Space 1999, which was current at the time that I was watching it. And I've gone back to watch both of them. Night Stalker is still enjoyable because of the cheese factor. Space 1999 is dull. The science is awful. It's hard to watch now.
I can see that. Andrew, how about you? Horror series, what do you think? What's in your top 5?
Probably Goosebumps, Fear of the Walking Dead, Scream Queens. There was a really good one on Netflix, The Haunting of Hill House. And I used to like Supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those were all pretty fun. I haven't seen Scream Queens.
That's good. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis in it.
Yeah, the Goosebumps. That was a fun series. Even I saw it when I was, I was older than a kid when it was on its original run, and I still was liking it because I just like spooky shit. But yeah, let's see. I can't tell if Cody is frozen or just deep in thought. Oh, just deep in thought. Okay.
I'm here. I'm deep in thought. What was the question? Favorite TV horror series? Something like that?
Or what's in your top 5? What are some that you like?
Well, I always liked Friday the 13th, the series. With the cursed objects. I always thought that was a real good one. Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Dark Side.
Yep.
Night Gallery, probably. I don't know if I'd throw Twilight Zone in there as horror. I always considered Night Gallery more horror, Twilight Zone more sci-fi element. Trying to think of what number 5 would be.
What about modern shows?
Probably I'd put Walking Dead up there. I don't know if I've watched too many modern horror series though. Nothing more recent. I think all the series I've watched lately seems like to be, more suspense thriller stuff, things like Blacklist and stuff like that.
Oh, what the fuck? No, cancel all that. Wolf Creek TV series is my favorite. How the hell did I get that?
Yeah, that was a good one, man. I really liked that, actually. I waited for a long time to see those until I finally got Shudder, and I actually really liked it. Andrew, a second ago, you were saying that you liked Fear of the Walking Dead rather than The Walking Dead.
Yeah, The Walking Dead to me focused way too much on the characters and not enough on the zombies.
So I got tired of The Walking Dead after a while. I was with them pretty much up till Negan came in. And when Negan showed up, I thought, yeah, he's an awesome bad guy. But then, my God, how many times are you going to give up the chance just to kill somebody when you have the chance? There was a meme of Rick that I thought really summed up what the show turned into. That said, "We're going to war, but we're going to talk about it for 6 episodes first." That's what the show became.
I mean, that's how life works.
Yeah,
How countries do it. They talk for a long time before they like send in their secret shit and then whatnot.
And I guess the thing that I liked about Fear of the Walking Dead was you saw the pandemic before it sort of started. So
Yeah,
you
I like
saw
it too.
that was beginning, which I always like. I sort of like that rather than just being like thrust into the situation.
I like it. It was like way before it was as it started. So you see like the regular world, and then you see it descend to what it descended into. And I liked that for the first few seasons, it started to lose me, but and I haven't seen the latest season.
So, what's the name of that actor that's in Fear of the Walking Dead? He was in Dr. Sleep.
Oh God, I can't remember. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, he played Danny's friend, and I'm looking it up.
Yeah, he was in Training Day too.
And Collateral Damage. I really like him. I only watched like the first 3 episodes. Cliff Curtis is his name.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes. I think they ended up down in the flood tunnels or something in LA.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was definitely towards the beginning of the season.
I liked what I saw, but I that was when they were still on just cable, which I don't have, so I watched it with my mom actually. But I think now they're on Netflix or something. I just never have got back to them.
I kind of fell off with that show. I watched it from the beginning, and I watched the first 2 or 3 seasons, but I kind of lost interest in it. My wife loves it.
We're still on Fear of the Walking Dead, right?
Yes.
So the Fear of the Walking Dead did like a real stupid thing that I was like, they killed off a major character in like a really matter of fact kind of stupid way, and this sort of like left it at that, and I really didn't like that about it. It sort of rubbed me the wrong way. She was a major character through a few seasons.
Got a visitor. Huh?
That was creepy.
If I do that and there's anyone behind me, guys, just let me know, okay? Because there shouldn't be anyone behind me.
That's my son, Michael, Andrew.
Ah!
But I don't know what it was about Fear the Walking Dead. I don't know why I fell off.
What about you, John? What is
Seen the Purge TV series, and if so, is it any good?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I saw a few episodes and I just didn't get into it. I
you
enjoy
like-
movies. Though.
Toys.
Show him off.
Chucky.
Oh, there's another Chucky! Yay!
Yep, the bride.
there you
Chucky there.
Bad one.
What? I got the elephant. You want the elephant?
All right. All right, go back to your show.
What
Shut my door.
What you doing?
We're streaming.
So much Purge movie.
What did you say, Andrew?
Mark, do you like the Purge movies?
Oh yeah, I did like the Purge movies.
Yeah.
They're a little heavy-handed, but but that's fine. They're fun.
Well, what's the newer one supposed to be? The Purge Forever, and
Yeah, that one
that's
got
the one that's delayed.
yeah.
What about you? Some horror shows that you love?
I'm a diehard Walking Dead fan.
I still like The Walking Dead.
I love The Walking Dead. American Horror Story, I'm
Hmm.
hit or miss with. I like some seasons more than others.
Yeah.
I see somebody down here talking about Stranger Things. I thought Stranger Things. I watched the first 2 seasons. I haven't watched the third one yet.
I guess I do like Stranger Things. Yeah,
Stranger
Yeah.
Things.
the new Creep Show series.
Mhm.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm dying to watch it, and I haven't taken the time to sit down and do it yet.
I liked it.
It's pretty decent.
I'm looking up. I typed in horror TV shows now, and it's jogging my memory. Ash versus Evil Dead.
I own all of them. Never watched it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a lot. So I haven't watched them with my daughter yet because they are way dirtier than Army of Darkness dreamed to be in.
Yeah.
Very dirty.
But believe it or not, I love the first Evil Dead movie. I like the second one. I don't really care for Army of Darkness.
Really?
No.
Yeah,
I've always loved it.
And my favorite remake, period, unless we count The Thing, is Evil Dead.
That's
I
a
love
good remake.
Yeah, I love The Thing. If we're going to call the Thing a remake, The Thing is probably my favorite all-time remake. Outside of that, it's definitely Evil Dead for me.
Evil Dead remake was fucking awesome.
It was
Evil Dead remake was great. If you're gonna call The Thing the remake,
The Fly.
I'm gonna say The Fly and Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
yeah, they're both great too.
The 78 version of Body Snatchers with Sutherland. Yeah, I love that.
the,
Hard to think of those movies as remakes. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the Maniac remake. I know Andrew agrees with that. That thing was fucking awesome, man. That's probably right up at the top of my remake list.
That was a good one.
Maniac best remake.
I
But
watched American Horror Story. I watched the one with the circus.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of the others.
Oh man.
That one was called Freak Show. That wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Murder House, the first season was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
Asylum was, I think, the second one. That was like, I really liked it, but there was like one too many fucking elements in it.
It was
I don't want to like spoil it, but there's like a possession. There's a fucking serial killer. There's all this shit, and then there's aliens. It's just like, take one of those fucking things out. We don't need it. Just
Right.
stick with 3 or whatever the fuck.
The Coven was good.
Which one?
Coven with the witches.
That one was okay.
Yeah, I thought
There's-
that was
Ain't there one about 1984 or something too?
cool. Yeah.
It looked
Yeah.
okay. I'm looking up more remakes that I like. The Crazies, I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good too.
Night of the Living Dead 90 was on my 90s top 20 list.
Me too.
And I even like the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, Day of the Dead remake is awful, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Dawn is good. Yeah,
Was that the one with Mina Savari?
yeah,
Yeah, that
and,
was.
and Ving Rhames as well.
He was in that one too.
I believe he was, wasn't he?
He was in the Dawn of the Dead remake.
He was
Yeah,
in
he was-
Dead too.
He was
Oh,
in both
man.
of them.
Yeah,
He should have stopped after Dawn.
absolutely.
Quit while he was ahead.
Yeah.
The
Did any-
Hills
that
Have
Day the
Eyes
Dead-
remake is really good.
What's that, Andrew?
The Hills Have Eyes remake's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Really
good.
The Chainsaw Massacre remake, we watched that last night. I like that
Wow.
one.
Yeah. Craig's saying House of Wax. That was
Yeah,
a fun one too, I thought.
I haven't seen that in a long time either. That is a good one.
The Blob.
Yeah.
Oh,
Blob one, yeah.
I love the Blob. Yeah.
And Willard. I like the new Willard.
Oh, I was just talking about that last night. I think Willard was fucking awesome. We were talking about Crispin Glover earlier.
Yeah.
Man, that was great. I love that movie.
He was real good in that, and so was Arlie Ermy.
Yeah, Arlie Ermy was a pretty minor role, really.
When I love his little speech when he has Glover locked in the elevator
Yeah.
and tells him why he can afford the fancy car. Because I'm never fucking late for work.
Yeah, Arlie Ermy, man. R.I.P.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Looking at more remakes here. Let's talk about some of the bad ones.
Ooh.
Fog.
Yeah, Fog. Yep, I was about to say.
Fog.
I never
I
even saw it. Never even bothered watching it.
Me neither. Everybody told me how awful it was, so I never bothered.
It was bad.
Psycho's
And then-
got
I guess another good one, but I still haven't watched the old one, even though Mark sent it to me. 13 Ghosts.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
I like
like
the
the-
new one. Got the old one. Haven't watched it.
I haven't seen the old one. I've seen the new one. There's Scream Factory's coming out with a collector's edition soon, which is going to be awesome. I'm all over
Yeah.
that.
They're coming out with that and Graveyard Shift, and there's 3 or 4 coming out from them. I'd like to get.
Yeah, I'd like it if Scream Factory offered a subscription package like Vinegar Syndrome does.
I think even Waxworks Records has a subscription package where you just pay a flat rate of like $200 for the year. And I think instead of getting the releases at $35 or $40 a piece, you'll get like 6 releases that year. And a couple of them are in special colors, maybe not available to everybody. But what I hated about it was I looked at the 6 titles and it's like, yeah, I want 3 of them.
Oh, yeah.
No, not the 6 that they've laid out. So, Fright Night was decent, I thought.
Good.
Piranha, even though it's way different than to me, the old one. I do like the Piranha remake. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
like
got-
I thought it was totally fun.
You got Christopher Lloyd looking at that fish tank,
You got Richard Dreyfuss in
Richard Dreyfuss getting eaten at the beginning. Yeah.
I think Alex Aja still has never let me down. I've never seen a movie that he's done and been like, eh. I mean, it's all been perfectly good for me, I think.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Crawl.
Yeah.
Crawl.
Yeah.
I like Crawl. I bought Crawl on a Black Friday sale for real cheap and really enjoyed it.
I think that's when I bought it too.
So here's one going down the list of remakes. This is one where I actually prefer the original. Is 2001 Maniacs.
Was there a remake of that? Or was that a remake?
Robert Englund played the guy with the eye patch.
Okay, I thought that was the original.
No, Herschel Gordon Lewis did the old original.
Oh, okay.
And I remember that because there was a little compilation tape called Terror on Tape that had, it was like Terror in the Isles. It just had gore scenes.
Yeah.
And they showed the clip from 2001 Maniacs where they put the guy in the barrel and drive all the nails through it, and then they roll him down the hill. It just looked so bad.
Yeah, how about Black Christmas? That had 2 remakes. One of them was pretty good. The other one I haven't seen yet, but I've heard universally.
2019, I've heard nothing but bad stuff about it.
I haven't seen the 2019 yet.
I haven't either. I imagine Craig Sharpshooter loves what you don't. Loves that one. I could be wrong.
Let's see, Cabin Fever. That was like a shot-for-shot remake.
But
Wasn't it?
yeah, like why bother?
Yeah.
Why?
The original was fun. Original was like perfectly fine. It wasn't even that long ago. Why do a shot-for-shot remake?
That's why I don't understand why they remade Psycho.
Well,
Yeah.
at least that one was like lots of years apart, and it was shot for shot. It was. I mean, I can't defend that movie. It was kind of a useless thing to do, but
It was terrible.
at least some time had
Yeah.
passed. You
Says,
know?
says here, I guess there's a remake of The Craft coming.
The
Really?
Let Me In was a pretty good remake.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I think I prefer the original because the original felt kind of like a more beautiful coming of age story having to do with vampires and stuff. And the other one was like felt a lot more sinister, which I understand why people like it, but I like the first one a little more personally. It just felt fresh to me.
Did anybody see the Flatliners remake? I haven't.
I haven't seen it.
It was forgettable.
That good, huh?
Then, of course, there's Friday the 13th, 2009.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I was really let down by it when I first saw it, and I've turned the corner on it. I like it.
I need to go see it again. I need to watch the director cut.
I was like, yeah, man. When it came out, I was really thinking it was going to be like what the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was, you know, just like a little, not quite as sort of like campy, silly, standard sort of franchise movie. I thought it was going to be like way darker and like just hardcore, but it was more just like a standard movie. But it was done pretty well as far as that franchise goes. Can't fault it, man. Derek Nurse is fucking awesome.
Here's one I thought was awful. The Hitcher. The remake of The Hitcher.
remake.
I never saw that one.
The Children of the Corn remake's terrible.
Jen was mentioning that one. I didn't even know there was one, to be honest with you.
Neither did I.
Don't watch it; it's garbage.
All right.
APB.
How about the? I'm just going through alphabetical here. How about the Rocky Horror Picture Show remake / TV series?
Oh God.
It looked awful.
I wouldn't watch that.
I missed the shit out of that. I never even heard that there anything about it.
It was in like 2016. It says I remember them talking about it, but it looked so bad I didn't even want to look at it. And I love the music of the old one, you know.
Meatloaf.
Yep, I'm a big Meatloaf fan.
Oh, why, man? I love Meatloaf.
I got him. He signed my "Bad Out of Hell" Part 2 record.
Yeah. He used to play in Atlantic City here all the time, and God only knows why. My wife and I never went.
Oh, I'd love to have seen him.
Yeah, me too.
He had some pipes.
Yeah, that dude could blow, man. He's awesome.
There was a interview one time with Jim Steinman, who wrote most of Meatloaf's music.
Yep.
And I loved it because it was just the funniest quote ever, but it summed it up. He said, "Yeah, if you're looking for a 10-minute long rock opera ballads sung by a 300-pound guy with a huge voice, we got you covered."
Bad Out of Hell is one of my all-time favorite records ever, period.
That was a great album.
Absolutely, man.
And the
Village of the Damned was a good remake.
What'd you say, Andrew?
The artwork on Bad Out of Hell is killer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's saying Ben Grimm mentioned Stage Fright. That was another Meatloaf movie. He had a role in that.
What was that?
Stage Fright. Did you guys see that one? It's like a horror musical.
Not the remake. No.
Had like Minnie Driver was also in it in the very, very beginning. It was fun. It had like a heavy metal killer, but it was also kind of like I had a hard time getting past the musicality, the musicalness of it.
I have a very hard time with musicals.
Yeah, but it was okay. He was also in Pelts. Did you guys see that Masters of Horror Pelts?
Yeah.
Sure did, yes.
Yeah, he played a real meanie in that one.
He was in
You-
Tales from the Crypt, and Christopher Reeve ate him.
Oh yeah,
He was in Fight Club. He had titties.
yeah, bitch
Yeah.
tits.
And he was in Black Dog.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Oh yeah,
I mean-
Jen saying Cape Fear remake. Yeah, that was awesome, man. De Niro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one for sure. Ben Grimm, are you saying that Meatloaf broke his neck?
That's what I'm reading right now too.
Wow.
What, here recently?
Last year, apparently.
No. We just met him. Man, it'd been, I don't remember if it was last March or the March before. It was the same convention we met Christopher Lloyd at.
How many conventions do you go to, Cody?
Usually 2 a year, maybe 3. We haven't been to one since last September, and we were supposed to go in March, but it got canceled.
Yeah. I haven't been to one in ages, man. I miss it.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know what the fuck TFW was, but that's Texas Frightmare Weekend. So I guess he broke his neck at a horror convention. That's crazy.
Fell off the stage. My God.
Jesus.
When we met him, I thought, because he's a big dude.
He's a big dude. Yeah.
When we met him, he seemed kind of frail. I don't know what age he's getting to now, but he's not as big a dude as he was.
Even when you watch him sing, he seems almost like he's laboring to sing at this point.
I mean, yeah, he's old, right?
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah, Rocky Horror was 45 years ago now.
Yeah, I feel real old when I start. I was like, I reviewed Rosemary's Baby for the Three from the Grave channel just the other day, and I watched it, and I thought about it, and I was like, this is like 60 years old now. It's fucking nuts. Like almost 60 years old movie.
There we go.
Oh, that's cool.
Dang it. My camera's backward. I can't figure this out. Yeah. There we go.
Cool, Cody.
That's the right. It's right. Going the right direction on this end.
Mm-hmm.
So when I met him, there was one question I was always dying to ask him. He did a VH1 Storytellers, where they sit and sing with a small crowd. It was a great show. But during the Storytellers, he said that the original cut of Paradise by the Dashboard Light was like 27 minutes. And I wanted to know, was it repetitive? Was there other verses that we didn't get to hear? Because his music is very repetitive. What was it them saying, flowing like the metal on the edge of a knife for another 9 minutes? What was in this 27 minutes? And he said that it was actually, I think he said 21 minutes was the final cut, and that there was a chorus in the middle and like a choir. And he said everybody hated it except Steinman. And he fought and fought and fought for it and finally lost, and they were all very happy. He said it was just terrible. But I'd still like to hear it,
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear it too.
Yeah, I like Jim Steinman's other stuff. I mean, the things he wrote for Bonnie Tyler and Air Supply, and there was a lot of good stuff out of him in the 80s.
Bonnie Tyler had some good stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I know of from her.
Holding Out for a Hero.
Yeah, that you probably know more that you just don't realize it.
Probably. I mean, yeah.
Holding Out for a Hero was a monstrous song.
Yep.
How
That
old are
was-
you, Ben? Don't mind I ask.
1,000 years old.
Did Holding Out for a Hero
You know that song.
Yeah, well,
did Holding Out for a Hero come out on its own, or was that released on Footloose?
That was a soundtrack, wasn't it? Yeah, the Footloose soundtrack.
Yeah,
I remember the Footloose soundtrack. I never actually saw the movie Footloose.
I never cared for it much. It's one of those movies I always thought was overrated in pop culture.
Watch Chris Penn dance.
I mean, I think if you're gonna watch like a feel-good dance movie about like saving an orphanage or whatever the fuck, watch Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you messing around with Footloose, man?
Oh God.
There's some people that I like to see dance, like put John Travolta in a movie and let him dance. Yeah, that's awesome. Love it. I'll watch the Christopher Walken dancing in the hotel music video.
That one's
Yeah.
awesome.
I'll pop that up every now and then just to make myself feel better. That is so much fun.
But not Chris Penn.
Yeah, Crispin. I'd watch that guy do that fucking jerky ass dance for fucking hours,
Oh
man.
yeah, Crispin Glover's dance.
I
Yeah,
watched the whole movie that's just him, like a 90-minute feature of him just dancing until he got tired.
Oh my God.
looks like he's having strokes repeatedly.
Yeah. And that's how he used to dance back in the club scene back in the days. He was saying. And I was like, yeah, dude, I see it. He's like a weird dude, but in a good way.
He's a real weird dude, and
In a good way.
So he was one of them that bothered me for a while, like with the whole thing with him suing over Back to the Future 2. Like he was too good to play George McFly was the way it sounded. He didn't want to do it anymore, and even Jesse Eisenberg got like that for a little while. Like I know they were talking Zombieland 2, and he didn't want to do it because he did the Facebook movie, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden thought he was too accomplished of an actor to go back and do Zombieland 2, but then they got him later.
That was a good movie, but he played like a soulless robot, so I mean, how hard is that to act?
Right.
But he's a pretty good actor. How about Cursed? How do you guys feel about Cursed? Like that's a much hated / loved Wes Craven movie starring Jesse Eisenberg.
Cursed. I guess I've seen it.
I don't know
I haven't.
what's in it.
I like Curse, werewolf movie.
Is that the one with
Wednesday Addams, whose name
The-
I'm spacing.
Mighty Ducks in it? Who else is in that then?
What's her name? She played Wednesday in the Addams Family movies.
Richie?
Richie, yeah.
Christina Ricci.
Richie was also in it. And Joshua Jackson.
Yeah, Joshua Jackson. Yeah.
I liked it. There was some real bad CGI werewolf stuff, but there's also a cool practical werewolf. Yeah, Pacey from Dawson's Creek. Graves all-
Derek Mears plays the werewolf.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a TV series.
I kind of like too what Eisenberg was trying to do with Lex Luthor. I just hated the rest of the Superman movie around him.
DC had a real hard time making like good movies for a while there. They came through a few times though.
Yeah, well, they've always done good with Batman, but
Yeah.
part of what I hated about Nolan,
Even the George Clooney one.
no, I won't count that one, or the Val Kilmer one, hardly, but it's better than the George Clooney. But I was going to say, after Nolan's Batman trilogy come, all of a sudden every superhero had to be dark. And
Yeah, as they should be, man. I like it.
yeah, I mean, to me though, I don't think you can do to Superman what they tried. And I'm biased. If it's not Christopher Reeve, I don't want nothing to do with it.
Well, he's gonna have a hard time doing Superman these days, though.
I am. They should never make another one. That's my opinion.
Okay. But you like the Child's Play remake. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
That's how people feel about Brad Dourif.
How did you guys like Batman versus Superman?
It's all right. I mean,
I
so I guess I watched the director cut because someone told me you should, and it seemed okay. But at the same time, I think Superman ought to be able to just stomp his ass. There's nothing I thought Batman there's nothing Batman could create to defend himself against Superman.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could like kryptonite, whatever the fuck, right? But
yeah. But the suit that he made to fight him was like shit. Just pick him up and throw him into space. I mean,
yeah, just like run around him until he's a baby again, right? Right?
I took my son to see that movie, and I struggled to make it through that movie.
To me, the only thing good about the movie were the scenes that Wonder Woman was in.
I like that Wonder Woman movie. I thought that was excellent.
I did like Wonder Woman. I like the Brandon Routh Superman that he played. The movie was awful. It wasn't his fault. I mean,
Superman Returns.
Yeah, if he had a better movie around him, I think he could have done something with it. And I like Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor, but the rest of the movie was so bad. And Lois can't remember who got her pregnant, but she watches her son throw a piano across the room and still can't figure out that that's her kid.
So speaking of dark superheroes, what about Brightburn? How'd you guys feel about that one?
Oh, I
like
that.
I really
at the end where they kind of tease an evil Aquaman and an evil Wonder Woman, I'd love to see them start a whole universe of that.
I was that movie got a lot of hype from horror dudes before I saw it, and I was a little disappointed in it. It has all of the elements of a movie that I should absolutely love, and it didn't quite click together in a way that I loved it. I liked it okay. It was pretty good. There is like a scene or two that is just like way more brutal than you think it's gonna fucking end up being. So I like that about it.
Right.
I didn't really like the ending though. I didn't like that whole third act. I didn't feel really like terminated in a way that I liked, but
here's some. Did you not like it because there wasn't like a good ending to it, or?
No, it just sort of felt flat. It felt like they were building up something, and it just like they sort of like spent some plot elements earlier, like setting things up, and then it just like nothing really ever came to be with it, and it just felt like kind of like there was like an ending, and the air just like kind of fell flat a little bit,
I really liked it, but I did feel that towards the end they were like, all right, let's wrap this up now.
Yeah. I liked the sort of like after the credit scene. I liked.
Yeah,
I thought that was done well.
See you, Sean.
See you, Sean.
Later, Sean.
Craig asks about Dark Fate. Terminator, I assume?
Yeah, I like Dark Fate.
I liked it.
I haven't seen it yet.
I thought it was good.
I mean, it's not Terminator 1 or Terminator 2, but I thought it was a good entry. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. From what I saw, it caught a lot of hate because people were, equating it to the Ghostbusters remake and like a feminine takeover of a male franchise. And I can't see the hate there either because I got a kick out of the Ghostbusters remake.
I thought it was great.
My daughters love it and they watch it a lot, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I thought it was.
My only beef with the Ghostbusters remake was they didn't get Rick Moranis back for a cameo, but I guess no one can.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever watch Minty's Comedic Arts, his channel? So
No.
he does 10 things you didn't know about some movie every week. And it's kind of a brilliant YouTube channel idea, you know, to basically just read trivia off IMDb.
Craig loves that dude.
But he did. Damn it! What was I just talking about? It's getting late. What movie were?
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. Yeah, he did. No, I still lost it. What was? Dear God.
Minty's comedic arts.
Yeah, Minty. What do you do?
10 things you didn't know about.
Something. I have to look it up now. I completely derailed that train.
You guys were
of thought.
talking about Dark Fate before I went and got some more pizza. Does that help?
No. I'll come up with it in a minute. I'm sorry, guys.
I've been there so many times. So many times.
I'm not even drinking.
Oh man.
Oh, Spaceballs. I'm sorry. Yeah. 10 things you didn't know about Spaceballs, and he talked about the notion of a sequel that they were trying to do, and that they tried and just didn't gain any traction with it. And then by the time they might have, had something going, that was by the time Rick Moranis had retired. So, and they didn't really want to do it without Dark Helmet.
About speaking of Mel Brooks sequels that never existed, History of the World Part 3.
Oh man.
Or
Remember that? Teased in the end or whatever it was?
yeah, Part 2, right?
Part 2. I thought it was like, Part 2.
Because that was, you were going to have the Viking funeral, Hitler on ice, and Jews in space.
Yeah.
And I love History of the World. That's such a
fun snapshot from my childhood.
It's good to be the king.
Oh.
I haven't seen it since I was a child either, to be honest with you. I haven't seen it in years.
My favorite part in that whole movie is when they're running from the Romans and they come to the river and Moses parts the water and he turns around and the guy's got the crossbow in his back mugging him. I love Mel Brooks. I've got that Mel Brooks collection, which doesn't have, I know it doesn't have Life Stinks, but I don't know if he directed that or not. I know he was in it, but it's got like 9 movies in the set, and man, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, silent movie. I mean, there's so many good ones.
You guys Monty Python fans?
Oh, yeah.
My daughters are in there watching Holy Grail right now.
Oh, yeah.
I love Holy Grail.
Classic.
Actually, I picked this up at a kind of a vintage store in the mall here recently. And it's got soundtracks from Silent Movie, Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, The Producers, and The 12 Chairs, all in one album.
I heard Mel Brooks on a podcast not too long ago, and that guy is like into his 90s, sharp as a tack still, man. I was really impressed.
If you got Netflix, go watch his episode on Seinfeld and his comedians getting coffee in cars.
Well, that's a great show.
He takes Carl Reiner out for breakfast and coffee, and he finds out that Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner get together a night or two every week and eat dinner and watch a movie. So he asks if he can come over and hang out with them, and they're sitting there with TV trays and stuff. And I don't think Seinfeld gets to say a word for the rest of the show because Mel Brooks is just going, and it was awesome.
Yeah, man, he's like just still going. That's like really impressive.
So when did Gene Wilder die? About 4 or 5 years ago?
I thought it was even longer ago than
Was
that.
it longer ago than that?
I
There
may
was.
be-
He was on. He was on some talk show, and they got to talking about Gene Wilder. 2016, it says.
Wow.
And he talked about how much he missed Gene Wilder, and then they got to talking about Young Frankenstein, and man, Mel Brooks said we loved hanging out with Marty Feldman, and he said, you know how you hid from Marty Feldman? You pushed your nose against his, and then he couldn't see you.
Them old comedians were great, man.
Oh yeah,
Don Rickles. Whew.
God.
love Rickles. I've got an album of his called "Hey Dummy."
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
He was sharp too. I think he's passed away now, but he was like sharp into his old age as well.
He passed.
There's a video out on YouTube. I'll send you the link sometime. But these different celebrities and comedians come out and kind of pay tribute to him for an hour or so, and they have to help him up at the end off of his bench. But he stands there for 5 or 10 minutes and just destroys every one of them.
Yeah, he's great, man.
My favorite, I think, Don Rickles did. There was a time he came out on David Letterman, and Johnny Carson always had people move down the couch. Letterman, the first guest never stayed for the second guest. There was only the one chair. His first guest was Denzel Washington, and Don Rickles was second guest. Denzel asked if he could stay, and Rickles come out, and Rickles hugged Denzel and hugged him again and looked at him and hugged him and then kind of waved Dave off like he didn't care about him, and he kept hugging Denzel.
Yeah.
And he sat down and he said, hang on a second. He says, let me talk to the dummy. And he turns and starts talking to Dave.
Nice.
And he kept turning back to Denzel saying that they need to do a movie together. So he was something else.
Yeah,
No one else could get away with what he did.
Yeah.
Hard to get away with it these days too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kept it going. I mean, he made fun of everyone for everything.
Yeah, he was great.
I'd like to get my hands on some of them old Dean Martin celebrity roast shows.
I bought a bunch of them. I bought a bunch of them for my dad for Christmas
Yeah,
over the past couple years, and there's some good ones.
that's got to be hilarious, man.
It's good stuff, and a lot of jokes they wouldn't run on TV now.
Yeah, I'm sure. And all them guys smoking and drinking.
Yeah,
Oh, it had to be awesome. I grew up in a pretty wild decade, but that generation before me, that back in the 70s, had to have fun, man.
Yeah, those guys were. It was interesting. It was a good time back then, and you had a lot of Joan Rivers was also doing those all the time, right?
Oh yeah,
there was
Like
quite a
Phyllis
few
Diller.
I loved that had Red Fox on them. I always liked Red Fox and
Red
Sam
Fox.
Kinison.
He put out a stand-up album called "In a Brown Wrapper" that I remember watching when I was a kid. I never knew that he was that dirty
Yeah,
because I was used to seeing Fred Sanford.
right.
Yeah.
He had one album I had called "Wash Your Ass" was the name of the album.
Oh my
There-
god!
there's a great Sanford and Son episode that had Scatman Carruthers on it
Yeah.
where they sang together.
Oh my god!
That was good. You had Scatman Carruthers there playing the guitar and kind of doing the scat stuff, and Fred was singing. That was a good episode.
Man, that's awesome. I think the dude who played Rollo on Sanford and Son died this past year.
Really?
Oh,
I saw that pop up somewhere. Yeah, he died, and the woman who played, I think, Walona on Good Times, I think she died this year. I love them old shows, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were all like in heavy syndication in the 80s. I used to watch them
Yep.
all the time.
The
Oh, I
the
know.
two that the two that I watched together, actually, we had a local UHF station, Channel 38. It was always on school nights, so I had to kind of sneak to do it. But at 10 o'clock was Sanford and Son, and at 10:30 was Tales from the Dark Side.
Mm.
So I'd watch both them when I could. Mark says his internet went out,
Yeah, I saw him disappear.
and
Well,
he's gonna go ahead and turn in. So
I guess it is later for you guys.
it's
Yeah.
almost 1
Side of
o'clock.
things.
Yeah, I think I might head off too, guys. So
Yeah, me too. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning.
All right. Well, it sounds like we're wrapping this up.
Yeah,
Thanks everyone in the chat for hanging out. Everyone that stopped by. It's a good-
Absolutely.
good time. Thanks for putting it on, Ben.
Yeah,
Since
for
I
sure. I'm
had
glad
to
we
go-
can end up still
since I
doing
had
it.
to go rescue Sam.
All right. Well, hey guys, thanks for joining me, and everyone in the chat, thanks for chatting.
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right.
See you next week.
Good night.
Yes,
Later.
indeed. Have a good
Bye.
night, y'all.